Yeah. Cold shots? Oh my gosh.
Everybody getting shot. Boom, boom, boom.
Shots.
Hey, salutes to Mike holding down the booze again.
Everybody getting shot. You got one of these? Thank you.
Why not, it is that one.
Woo.
It's like another version of the
it's a
shot
slight
club.
delay, right?
Huh?
Is this like another version of the shot club?
No, not really.
I'm just
The reason why I buy
Shots Club, though.
The reason why I buy these because they're cheap.
No, they are, and they're not
and
bad
they
too.
do the job.
Thanks, man.
And they don't hurt your
Thank you.
stomach. Like you don't feel all sick.
Okay.
Yeah, and you drink.
Pee. That's all.
It's kind of like the shot club, except it's not necessarily shots, and you drink at your own.
Yeah, we don't take
At
shots.
your own leisure.
It's not like
we take
shot
shots at
time.
people, though.
Okay,
No.
everyone go.
Take shots at people.
Oh.
I know that. I watched
Is there
the show.
smoke ready to go?
Nah, not today.
No, there's
maybe we don't know.
There's nothing
what's gonna
sizzling.
I don't know. It depends. What do you guys?
Oh man, there's some things that could sizzle.
So sorry.
I don't know if we want to jump into the shit though.
You guys have
we gotta at
some
least
pretty
introduce the
We just want
sizzling
to jump right in though.
things
Nah,
that go on in here.
like the bacon.
Like the
What do you want to start? Do you want to get into shits? You want to?
Well, first of all, we're gonna
Yeah.
make some noise for our guest. Please
Yeah.
introduce yourself.
What's up, everyone? It's Coco Leah. I'm finally
bop.
here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
It's about time, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna use this spot.
We're getting plugged up,
Yeah, no
man.
problem.
Mike just got us steady getting booked.
Huh?
He's like, yeah, we're booked till November now. I'm
Not
like,
even.
holy shit.
Not yet. Mid-July. So if you want to get
What?
on,
That's
fine.
still
If you
dope.
don't, who cares?
Yeah.
You get mad because I said you gotta wait because we gotta deal with the other partners. Then
You just gotta wait, dude.
Not that we don't want to get you on the
No.
show as soon as possible.
Shout out my barber. He's trying to pimp me
But
on
I
the
feel like
Jordan.
there are some
He's like,
people
I can get Jordan for you guys.
Now,
Word.
what?
I'd love to get Jordan on
Get
the
a what?
show. So.
Dawkins.
Duck in the
That's
show?
dope.
Yeah.
Like who?
I don't know. I feel like
Who's
you got a
Dawkins?
couple people who've been bagging you, and
Begging?
yeah, and you ain't put them on.
Begging?
yet.
No.
Stoan?
There's none of that
Like
shit.
myself?
None of that shit.
None of that shit.
Who we been ducking, man?
No one's begging to get on the
Ain't
show.
ain't
We
no,
want to
ain't no
come on the
fucking
show.
duckmans up on this shit.
No, we've been.
Yo, Dustin, pull your mic up.
We were accused of
We
being
ain't ducking
scared about
anybody.
There
putting
we
certain
go.
people on.
Really?
Now you sound grown and
Really?
sexy.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't that. It was scheduling. That's all it was.
There's certain people that are always gonna make excuses for themselves to make it
Yeah.
just look like
When we
just
we
make
come
it look
here,
like you guys are trying to fuck them over
Yeah,
when that's not at all.
when we
the
come
case.
here and then the
Oh.
lights get turned off and we don't know that, or shit happens, or we gotta find a new location last minute.
That's happening.
Come on, shut the fuck up.
That's
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
You don't know
At
what
least
happens.
you're trying
You know
to
what?
make things
You
happen.
still
Yeah.
deliver though.
Yeah. Regardless of the
We're like
situation.
Bubba Sparks. I'm like Bub, you're Baspa, and you're Arcs. And together we form
The
like
way he broke
Voltron.
that up, though, the way he broke that up. He could have broken that up differently,
We
but he
give
chose
them
to do it that
delivery.
way.
I don't
Yeah,
mind
that was
Bubba's
kind of
Stop
weird.
that.
Nah,
I
Bubba
know.
was
I
whack.
was trying to focus.
But yo, do you know what was
Fire
sick?
Beast
I don't even
is
want
there.
the Bubba interview. Fuck that.
What, you getting one?
I'm not now.
Man, Bubba Sparks is dope.
Man, Bubba Sparks
Shout out
was
Bubba
whack.
Sparks.
But do you know what?
Bah,
They
bah,
slept
bah,
on though?
bah.
That fucking his song with him and Jada.
Oh yeah, that's a dope song.
They don't know. And then you got
Yeah,
Timberland
that's
doing
sounds-
the
Oh, yeah.
when he used to do the weird fucking head
I
movements.
feel like
and
Timberland
arms.
had a lot invested in Bubba Sparks.
Yeah.
Like, he
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
Bubba Sparks to
I feel
go
like he
well.
didn't get his return.
He might have. He might have, man. Who knows? He might have. Yo, Bubba Sparks had a few like bangers, man.
Oh man, Bubba Sparks
was that
was whack.
booty
Get
rocking
Bubba
everywhere?
Oh,
Sparks.
yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Yeah, everyone knows that
Yeah,
one.
that shit's still getting money in the club.
But was that
It
even
does, yeah.
considered? Nah,
This fat booty?
nah, it wasn't even country.
More of an
Bubba
conversation.
Sparks is just
No, but he had country hip hop. Like the song
I
was
only
country
care
song.
to like Deliverance is sick, but the songs like Timbaland and the beats sick.
Yeah.
But Bubba Sparks is whack.
Yeah, he's all right.
Did he have a song called Country?
Maybe.
Everybody get
I've been
country.
traveling for
country.
some
Ugly,
time.
ugly.
Ugly? Okay.
With
But
my fishing
ugly ass.
pole,
But it
my
didn't
bond
sound-
to shine.
but-
Is that the
That's
original
all
Old
the
Town
things,
Road?
You know.
Segue. We're just talking about
What's
Lil
on
Nas
Old
X.
Town Road? When you
Is
think of
that
that
the
track, when you
original
think of
Old
that.
Town Road?
And Wrangler jeans. Lil Nas X
Yeah.
and the whole Wrangler
Yo,
jeans
Wrangler
thing.
on your booty, make some noise for having Wrangler on your booty.
Remember you were just talking about the
Get
other
that
day?
Yo, last week I said the mic, I was like, Wrangler on my booty.
And he
He's
was
like,
like-
what the fuck are
I
you
was making
saying?
fun of that shit. And then now he got an endorsement deal for it.
There you go.
And then when I finally told him what the fuck
Wrangler
it was,
is
he's like, I never really listened to the words of the song.
Yeah.
And then he's like, what guy calls their ass a booty?
And then he got an endorsement
And I
deal for
was
it.
howled, bro.
Now it's
Yeah.
like jeans that says on my booty.
Yo, it'll be
Wrangler.
like the new Apple Bomb jeans, but it'll be for dudes who like tight jeans. It'll say Wrangler on my booty.
I think they
It'll
took
be
your,
like stitched in the butt.
they took your 50, feel from
It's
50
crazy what
idea.
people
Yo, make some noise for feel like 50.
You need to bring that to life.
Yo,
If Wrangler on my booty could be something,
feel like
A
50
lot of
can
things
really
could
be
be
something.
yeah. I
Yo,
can't
what's
believe
up?
that.
This your man 50 Cent. I'm just letting you know for 50 cents a
fuck.
day, you
There you
can
go.
feel like 50.
Does this shit every fucking week. When are you gonna start the
It's like
Curtis
donating to UNICEF, except it's for your own personal hygiene.
Jackson, the fucking Curtis Jackson Instagram where you're just reading shit like
Yeah, you should.
Every public is. Oh.
You're gonna have the shea butter squad after you.
Oh man. I'll have the whole G Unit squad
Yeah.
after me.
I
Which
think they might
means the
appreciate
And
it.
friends.
Yo, young Buck will ride with
You'll
me.
get that cultural
Yeah,
appropriation stuff.
yeah.
That's a fact.
Young Buck is gonna ride with me.
Did you just actually snort right now?
What happened?
Make some noise.
Snorting without the coke.
That was hilarious.
Nothing better than a cocaine laugh.
Listen. Fucking snort.
Is that
Say
coco?
nothing.
But
There you go.
coco's not short for cocaine, no. I'm just playing.
I know.
You gotta figure out a marketing platform for that though. You gotta
Right?
you gotta figure out some marketing plan to incorporate that shit.
Cocaine?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like coca lines or something. You know what I'm saying? Like
Don't
something.
kill.
This guy's getting
Do a line
the
of coke.
coca
Don't
line.
get me all like riled up, okay?
Start chopping up that OT Genesis track. I'm in love with the. That should be
Oh,
you should have that shit chopped up,
that's
ready
kind
to
of a
go.
big idea,
When you're stepping on the
actually.
stage, you know what I'm saying? Like
That's kind of
that
sick.
shit up. and that's-
Five.
You're saying like
That's kind
that's
of
your stage
sick.
entry.
I
You know
think
what I'm saying?
that's a
Like,
good idea.
yeah, fuck yeah. That's
Yes,
for
you
Coco,
heard it
you can do
first.
that.
Right
Hey.
here on Toronto
Even if
Talks.
you sing
guys.
it out, it'd be crazy.
Yes.
That's what people don't do enough in the
That's
city when they
bars.
perform. Like I'm
Yeah, they
guilty of
just
it too.
get right
We need
into it.
intro. Yeah, like we need
Yeah.
like just a fucking hype intro
Yeah.
track. Like
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. If I was gonna use the intro track, it's the fucking theme song from the G.I. Joe theme, like the
Whoa.
cartoon one.
Bam,
Because it's Cobra. It's the
bam,
Cobra
yeah,
tune.
yeah,
What
yeah,
about
yeah.
MASH?
With Cobra was
Not the MASH tune?
Nah,
No,
nah.
that's
You're
not.
riding into the MASH
The theme
tune?
song with Cobra was just the fucking bad guy.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
like that track's dope. I was
No,
like
man.
once a month for inspiration.
Yo.
I'm not even gonna lie.
That shit
I'm
was
coming
dope.
into the 900 number.
What 900 number? Which one? The fuck
Let me
you talking
clear my
about?
throat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right? But that's what I'm saying though, like gotta sit down.
It should be like
and
wrestling. We turn Toronto
Yeah.
hip hop into wrestling.
Yo.
turn this shit into
everyone
like
has
UFC.
an
Like guys
entrance
coming in
team.
with entrance teams, hype and shit.
And people talk
gotta
shit
start
about each
doing
other.
it.
Mine will be that fucking
Trash
Trying
talk.
promos on other
Yeah.
artists and shit. Fuck
1,000 miles or whatever.
100 rounds.
Wow.
Making my
No,
way
yeah.
downtown.
Oh, okay.
Walking fa- That was
I
my
love that
entrance
song,
theme.
dude.
Yeah.
That song's tough.
Yo, that song is tough.
I wish I could see you like doing the song,
She should hop
Do
on the
what?
Old Town Road
Do what
remix.
song?
like singing that song that you're just.
Nah, I can't sing that song.
I
I only know like the notes.
I would die.
Like I don't know the words of that song.
And I need you.
Yes.
A lot of money.
That's the silencer. Yo, that remix, that fucking remix. Every time I hear that shit, that
That's
shit
the
is stuck
one
in my
with,
head for fucking days.
What do they call it? Rage Against the Machine? Rage Against
Nah,
They got one
man.
on Rage Against the
Oh,
Machine.
okay,
for
I
that.
believe that. But there's some dude on the internet.
Yeah.
He just went and did it, and he's like, that's the grenade launcher. Like he just fucking totally.
Oh, I seen that
Totally
one. That
remixed
one's
it.
nuts.
It was like the
Yeah.
remix you never knew the world needed. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
just
I wish
hear
you got
like,
paid off.
Oh, I
of
love
that.
it.
Whatever happened
Yo.
to that girl?
Have you ever heard the
She's
I
not-
Really
she's
Miss
Still there,
My...
but I
Yeah.
think she's, you know.
You ever heard the I Really Miss
Yeah.
My N.I.
Yeah.
GGA song?
Yeah.
Oh, that song.
man.
Yeah.
That's like the best song of all
That's the
time.
best funeral song of all time.
What song? What song?
I really miss my...
Niggas.
Oh my god,
Yo, it
bro.
reminds me of some shit like you might be too.
I asked my homie, are you dead? He said, yeah.
Remember, was it BT? Was it not BT Uncut? Was it BT Uncut back in the day?
Yeah.
That shit after like 3 a.m. or whatever come on, and they had Mighty Casey,
Oh,
White
Mighty
Girls.
Casey, yeah.
Oh man, just the
Mighty
video they had.
Casey.
Yeah, my man knows what I'm talking about.
I remember that,
Yo, the videos was my dude from fucking from Anchorage, Alaska was always on that shit. What the fuck was his name, man? So we gotta remind me of that shit. But yo, that show was dope. That's where they would play tip drill all the time.
Oh,
and
yeah, a
stuff.
bunch of stuff.
But they would have that whack, like that type of song would be on that shit.
Say
every
a
night.
word.
Yeah.
And really
BT
whack
back
ass
in the day.
Dirty South records.
It's like the greatest song of all time. Though.
What's that, Tip Drill?
So what?
Tip Drill
Nah,
or
really
Casey?
miss my niggas.
Yeah.
Oh, that?
Yeah.
Is it better than that really dark African dude who was trying to rap?
No, it's better than everything.
I know what you're talking about too.
Yo, that guy's best.
If you had to ask your homie if he's dead and he said yeah, that's nuts.
I love like the YouTube era where people could just make all these parody tracks and shit. And the first one was like Chocolate Rain might have been like the first.
Oh, Chocolate Rain was trash compared to I Miss.
No, but that was the one that started.
It's like R. Kelly's I Wish mixed with like a John LaJoie song.
Chocolate Rain.
Oh, shout out John LaJoie.
It's
Everyday regular guy.
Yeah.
That Taco from
He
the
was
Leaf.
super regular.
Taco.
It's like him and the Unforgettable guy should battle.
Oh, fuck. You ever watch that
Or
show?
Unforgivable, sorry.
You ever watch that show that he's got tacos?
Waffle fries.
Three snakes eat at once? I don't even know what to say after that.
Waffle Fries?
You know Unforgivable.
No, I don't watch.
Oh man, this was like early
movie or
YouTube.
TV?
Early YouTube trend.
Okay.
The dude in the forest who just did things and smacked his girl and
That's why
was
it's
like,
Chocolate Rain.
this and that and
Well, I gave a quick
buy me
shout
waffle fries. I shoved my dick in and
Oh, Jesus.
her son came upstairs and Unforgivable. You never seen that shit?
I gotta check that
That guy
out.
was
Stop.
nuts, bro.
I'll post that over my.
That shit was hilarious. That's like early YouTube
Yeah.
viral.
Shout out Brown
That
Guy,
shit's
man.
classic.
Guys, shout out Brown Guy. He's leaving some comments on the feed.
Yeah, yeah.
It really
What up,
is. Like,
Brown
I
Guy?
was getting a lineup today, and I look up at the mirror, and there's a fucking sticker. I'm like, yo, that's my dude Aaron. What the fuck? Yeah, he comes in. He's in Vancouver right now. I'm like, because I know he's from Saga, and I'm getting my lineup down in like damn 4 in the morning. You know what I mean? But shout out Brown Guy. Shout out the
Salute.
comments.
Gotcha.
That's what's up
Salute.
right there.
What up, brown guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, Aaron.
That's hello, Aaron. But that was trippy, man. I saw you stick there in the
Oh my God,
fucking barbershop today, and that tripped me out, my dude.
He's everywhere. He's like City Pulse.
There you go.
He's everywhere.
Kind of like STIs or STDs.
I don't know.
Well,
No,
that's
I mean,
nuts.
like, do you want to start that subject? Because that's kind of, fuck.
Is that a subject we've broached? No, you've asked once or twice who's
Oh
had.
man, we just talk about it.
Yeah, there was a mention on one of them before that I saw.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, Maloney was letting us know.
I don't
Well, it's
watch
a
back
fuck-
till I
it's a
edit
fucked
the
up
episode,
thing.
and then
It's
I'm
a
like,
fucked
oh
up
shit.
thing.
I was watching like some of the Rebecca shit and some others. Even the thing. What's her name again? Sorry, I know your name.
Bougie?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
laughing my fucking
Yeah,
ass off,
that
bro.
episode.
Our three highest played clips have come from that Bougie interview.
Yeah.
One was called Amateur Porn,
Amateur
one was
porn.
called
Yes,
Stepsister
Amateur
Porn,
porn. I'm
and
like,
one
what
was
the
called
fuck?
Sexual Attraction to Your Mother.
Yeah!
These are our three
that
best Toronto Talks podcast clips of all time. They've all came in, they've all dropped within the last 7, and those videos have garnered more hits than every single clip we've released prior
Alright,
and
well, shout out
together.
Bougie and your fucked
Bougie.
up.
So shout out to Bougie,
Bougie,
shout outs to
man.
Stepsister Porn, shout outs to being sexually attracted to your mom, and shout outs to Amateur Porn.
And that episode was just about marijuana, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We went from marijuana
Yeah,
to
it
attention
went
shit.
way up!
We talked about
Way
nothing.
the fuck up!
Yeah, we got high.
Like, everybody and their mom got talked about after that shit. Cannabis where?
Yeah.
Gotta
In
watch
every
more.
hole.
Oh
pretty
man.
much, you know?
No, I want to talk about so bad, but we can't. It's an off-camera thing.
What's that?
There's just something I want to talk about so bad. It's so hilarious. I can just picture Mike laughing to it right now. But we have to do it off camera.
Oh, dirty.
unfortunately.
Make a mental note of that shit.
We're censoring ourselves.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yo.
Oh,
That's a good
yeah.
intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Like, we got
yeah. All right, so-
So how do you
That's
feel
an
about
intro, man.
abortion?
Oh,
fuck.
Lord Jesus. You
Man,
know
I want to say shout out to
See,
all
that
the
was a
actors.
segue because I aborted the last topic.
This motherfucker, yo. I want to say shout out to all the actors taking a hardcore stance and saying fuck the state of Georgia right now and refusing to work in the state of Georgia. And another thing is
Hey.
no guy should really have any say other than they support women in this subject because at the end of the day, it's a fucking, you know what I'm saying, like it's a woman's body, not ours. So
Don't you find
if
it
men could
weird
get
when
pregnant,
people
we would have
actually-
abortions every other fucking week. You know what I mean? That's
It's
I don't know about
it's so
that.
weird.
I think we would.
Like, why do
every other week?
Why is this a thing?
He like,
The thing is, like, it's 2019. Why is this a thing? Well, like, why is this, like...
Yeah, all of a sudden now we got to this point where we're
really...
It's a touchy subject, abortion, right?
You're the woman, yeah.
But, I mean, I guess you can never say you never know until you're in that situation. Yeah. So that's where I like to just leave it, usually.
Yeah.
But it is touchy. I don't, myself, personally believe in doing it. Like, I didn't do it, you know what I'm saying? But then again, there's people who, for example, are raped.
Right.
Right? So, like, there's people who can carry that child and then give them up for adoption. Yeah. But there's people who just like, nah, I can't even have this shit in me. Like, I can't even do this because that's, like, that person's seed and they did that to me, you know? Yeah. So, and, like, I'd respect whatever anyone has to do. Just me, personally, I can't see myself doing it. And it's not just because it's a life, in my opinion. It's also because, like, I can't do surgeries.
I definitely had a situation.
That's my choice.
Yeah, and that's
also, because, like, to be honest, just like it's a choice to lay down, it's a choice that you got to make after too. So, in my opinion, if you lay down, and of course, and especially if you don't protect yourself, you end up getting pregnant. Then, in my opinion, it's opinionated always. I feel like, well, if you lay down and you were, like, grown enough to do that, then, I mean, technically you should be able to be grown enough to do whatever. But, I mean, there's also things that happen in the midst of, there's people who plan on actually getting pregnant, they get pregnant, and then their whole life goes to shit before the baby even comes, and they're like, fuck, like, financially I can't deal with this, that, and the other. And they make a decision there, too, right?
Do you know what one thing I think a lot of people don't put any blame on at all? Is the fucking waste men that don't know how to pull out.
You know what? Someone would say that, though. Why the fuck didn't you have a condom on?
I pulled out for 11 years straight, never had fucking no scares. And then once I stopped, then
Team pull out.
But you know what I mean?
Straight up, hashtag that.
Hey, yo.
I'm going to put that
people act like pulling out ain't a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Pull the fuck out.
Yeah.
What about pre-cum?
It's definitely a
thing. Yeah, that's what they say.
It's definitely a thing.
And I used to get scared of the pre-cum. But you know what?
Pull out before the pre-cum.
An 11-year base and never did me no wrong. every check out the No Condom podcast. Breaking Records Radio YouTube page.
You gotta make sure you get bougie on that.
Yo.
They were saying they need to get on that one.
Facts.
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean? Like, you're asking why is this happening?
It's just weird that, like,
I've heard different
dudes
theories.
even have.
Well, I mean, why it's happening right now? You know, I'm definitely the more political aspect of this show, the more political dude. But why it's happening right now?
I've definitely had a situation where it was
we live in an era
necessary.
of quote unquote strong men. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, these guys are getting into power and they want to be very, what's the word, man?
Lame.
No, like they want to be very dictatorship. You know what I'm saying? Like what they're doing is just straight up, yo, you're gonna do it this way or nothing. Like they're trying to repel laws and they're trying to do all types of stuff. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, like you can't do that shit. You know, it's fascism. You know what I mean? It's just a segue to. Well,
we've basically been living in like a fascist society for time. It's just disguised to us differently.
Yeah. But now these guys are like actually saying, yo, like fuck the law. I'm superseding anything and I'm just doing it because I can because I have the power to. You know, so it's the era of strongmen, and we're seeing it like right across.
You know what?
America
I respect people that just go against the grain of the system, though.
But to a certain degree.
Too.
But not fake politician bullshit like this nonsense. Yeah. But other people who do.
Yeah, but you can't start receding rights because receding rights, then like dominoes of society will fall.
Oh yeah.
That's why rebels are needed.
Rebels are needed to make sure that rights happen, not rights getting retracted. Once you start retracting rights, society itself.
See, that's a current thing.
Start fighting
in the
for the rights of people who
we
don't
live
have
in.
rights. That's a difference than actually taking rights away from people.
The generations we live in, anyone who was really around during the civil protests in that era, they're pretty much all very senior.
And we're the adults, so it's our time.
The thing is, most people who live in this generation, whether it be millennials, 90s kids, 80s kids, we never lived really through a huge political, societal revolution on our side of the world.
That being said, what do you think hip-hop is? Hip-hop is kind of like
it's that in a sense. But what I'm saying is...
We actually did. A lot of us are too young to remember.
Right, and then
the thing
is,
is,
hip hop by far, in my opinion, is an extension of the civil rights movement.
Yeah. There's been a huge control,
of course,
over people since a certain period of time. And nowadays, people are so softened to the blow because most of the people that live in this generation come from a time where the idea of fighting against the system is great, but most people, the idea of actually doing it is very scary. And you'll convince yourself out of doing any such
what type
thing.
of fighting we talking
about? As long as you
about,
can
though?
justify it. But
what type of fighting are we talking about, though?
anything that... There's people arguing basically for the shit
There's
people
there's
were
different
fighting
types of
for.
Hold on,
in the 60s, though, people are fighting for the same shit now.
Slow down. Yes and no, but put it like this. There's different ways of fighting. So all those people who are protesting against Vietnam, they weren't physically fighting.
Yeah.
Gandhi was trying to save India. He wasn't physically fighting.
I'm not saying you have to physically fight.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, right?
There's different
That's
forms
what
of
I said.
protest.
That's what type
But
of fighting.
there's very light...
But what I'm saying is, what type of fighting?
We still got black. You know what I'm saying? We still got
Right?
Black Lives Matters and other.
So that's what it is. It's all about what
protesting
type of
stuff.
fighting we're talking about. Are
But-
we talking about a coup? Are we talking about a bloody revolution? Are we? It has happened.
He's talking about more like the civil rights movements,
right?
and we're still within the
even-
civil rights
The
movement.
thing is, the same
That's
issues
been
are here,
continuing.
they're just transformed.
Of course.
Instead of the actual direct civil right, the fact is the prison industrial complex and the way
Yeah.
things have been targeted through communities and ways through certain laws and the way those types of things have been passed. But it's still the exact same fight, you know what I mean? But there's less protest to anything nowadays than there was at a certain time. And even the
Yes and
protest
no.
Yeah.
isn't
Yes and
as
no.
heavy or civil. It's
Yes
like,
or no? It really depends.
yeah,
on
we
what-
can hold the fucking
Yes or
picket
no.
signs up at fucking Nathan Phillips
Yes
Square.
or no, but
or some shit like
but
that.
the civil
like,
rights movement, for the most part, was that. It
Yeah,
wasn't.
but it was more extreme.
It was not
and a lot
really.
more people.
It wasn't a. It wasn't a. Well, think about it.
Everybody's too
Hold on
divided
hold on one
nowadays.
second. Back then,
It was the same shit
before
back
that
then,
point in
bro.
time, you got to remember those people were being oppressed for 100 years. Obviously, after 100 years, 75 years, you're like, fuck this. That's the reason
The
why. it was
oppression
like that.
still
You-
exists.
Listen to it.
It's
Listen
just
now.
been
Listen to it.
reworded.
But listen to what I'm saying now. I'm just talking about the civil rights movement, right? Outside of that, because you can't really the abortion issue and civil rights are hand in hand, but they're not. This is why there's been this correlation between slavery and abortion.
Which is ridiculous.
But how's it ridiculous if you're saying that the whole thing has still been going on? They kind of correlate with one another,
Yeah,
right?
it's a matter of power. It's a matter
Yeah.
of control. It's a
Everything
matter of
that- yeah.
matter of deciding what
Do you know
society
what I
can
really
demand
think
a
it
woman
comes
does
down
and
to?
doesn't do with her body.
Is that people now
At the end of
are-
the day, it is her
That's-
body.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is her body, but at the end of the day, it boils down to it's a control thing.
Yeah.
Let me put it at you
Do you
this
know
way.
what I
Hold
think
on,
it
hold
really
on.
boils
Let me
down
say-
to, though,
let me-
on a
before you
larger
say it,
scale
Before you say it,
of any of that?
Before you say it, let me put it this way. 100 years ago, a woman would go to the beach and get fined if she wasn't wearing enough clothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, if she goes to the beach today and she's wearing too much clothing
People
in
look
certain
down.
parts of Europe, she's gonna get fined because
Yep.
she's not wearing a bathing suit, because
Yep.
she's at the beach in a burqa, or because she's at the beach.
No, there's a
So it
law.
boils
Where?
down to-
Where is this?
This is in Europe, in France.
You get sued.
Yes.
Or, sorry, charged.
Yes.
For not wearing enough clothes.
For wearing
Too much clothing
clothes.
on a
Yes.
beach as a female.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say
That's like the
is-
most Harvey Weinstein law I've ever heard in my life.
Again,
Yo, bro.
it boils
They keep
down to a
controlling
control
Holy
thing.
fuck.
It boils down to literally a control thing.
Queen
And-
Elizabeth Weinstein in the house.
And again, when minorities and when women by far were fighting for their rights, is to advance society.
Yeah.
What's happening today is people are literally trying to take society back steps and say, yo, we're removing rights from you as
Yeah.
people. In other words, you're not even equal as us as fucking people, because we want
We
to
decide
rule
what you do.
over
But there's a
you.
reason
Yeah.
why you start
Fucked up.
retracting laws from people, though.
But
And this
why?
is a big
Why?
deal.
What's the reason?
This is
What
a big
reason?
deal, because if people, and this I was actually initially trying to make is the way that people stand to make a fucking change. Stand to make a change about this, it probably would. Look what's happening in what fucking France or wherever for the last fucking 6 months. You don't even see the shit on the news anymore because it's too much about a revolution
hold on.
against the
Well, hold
powers
on,
that
hold
be.
on a second.
When the people
What-
have
hold
had
on a
enough,
second.
a lot of times they'll revolt.
How long has it been in France? That revolt? It didn't just happen
Say
one
again?
day.
No. Saying this right here is an attack on your personal rights as a human being. So if people aren't standing up for this,
People are standing
people
up
are
for
gonna
all
look
this
at
shit,
it
bro.
and be like,
That's
okay,
the
cool.
point.
Well, the next time we could take away your right to this, and we could take away your right to
that's
this,
what-
and it would just
yeah.
get more severe.
But this is the thing, right?
Until we're living-
like DL Hughley said, most of these states that are putting this abortion law into play are states that were heavily known for slavery.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not really about the slavery aspect.
Yeah.
It's the fact that they've always wanted to have control of it. It didn't lose the war.
Wasted opportunity.
Those states would probably be slaveholding states, right? Making shit in America.
That's the
another
thing,
thing.
too. That's what you have to look at, too. Because sometimes
The
laws
number's
and
high,
certain laws are put in place because of exactly that. Like, people are just getting
Abortion
pregnant
rates
all
are
over the place. And
crazy
then,
right now.
you know, like, how many kids are being born and they have no home in foster care. To be honest, it's not always the way to go.
That's
Straight
why
up.
I say
Adoption is not always the way to go.
it's the waste men who
Giving
don't
up
know
your
how to
kid.
pull out. So let's not make any noise. Let's have like a moment of silence of
Silence for the waste man
disappointment
then.
for the waste man.
Well, at the end of the day,
Why do they get a moment of silence? They should get fucking cussing, no?
No, because we usually make noise, but I'm not making noise for
you
that.
can't make noise for
I'm
the
just
waste man.
saying.
No, you can't
Just
make noise for that. So it's like,
Not in a good way.
But
That's fucked up.
it's been. This is a very touchy. I posted it here and there. Even what D.L. Hughley said about slavery and
Yeah.
WWE.
Yeah.
One girl's like, "Oh, this guy needs to
I
shut
seen
up."
that. I seen that.
I started, why don't you listen to exactly what he said?
Yeah.
Don't
What?
watch that.
Yeah.
Don't read the headline.
What happened? Say that again. I didn't.
No.
Oh, Dio, who
Yeah.
an
Oh.
actor.
He-
Yes.
oh.
on the
Yeah,
scene
he's
on
just
the
saying that
subject.
these places that are doing these abortion laws in the States are places where they had slavery.
Oh yeah, you said that.
Right?
Yeah,
And there's a whole, like, I was watching this thing about miscegenation laws, and I hopefully I said it right.
Misogynistic.
Misogynistic
No,
laws?
Misogynistic.
you know, when different races or people come together?
Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
basically-
mixed race laws. What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. In
I don't know what the word. Okay,
basically
like some
is,
weird word or something.
yeah, anyways.
I'm gonna have to look that shit up.
The whites, British, Irish, black, all those people were all working together at one point.
Yeah.
Right? So these guys are like, fuck this shit. We're gonna stop people from fucking interacting.
Ah.
And it was illegal. That's kind of played off until a certain period of time. And that's when they started this whole ideology of people being white. To separate people from each other so that they don't
Can I
fucking
just
work
make
together.
Can I make a small point before we do move forward?
Yeah.
But like to the point I was making earlier about the way people are nowadays, the greatest example I could think of is Woodstock.
Woodstock.
That could happen nowadays. It wouldn't
Yeah, it
happen.
could happen.
It could.
It's not happening.
It could.
You didn't
Well,
see
what
it.
was
You
Woodstock?
didn't see
A bunch of
100,000
people
people
smoking
roll up to Rolling Loud who weren't supposed to be there. And then what? All the biggest artists in the fucking industry. You don't see 100,000 people rolling up to There's Something in the Water. You don't see 100,000. Like you don't see all these
They
people
throw Coachella 2
breaking
weekends in a row.
Coachella.
You know, like, they
Yeah.
do
Baychella. I'm sorry, you didn't
Not-
Woodstock.
But not
You didn't have 100,000 extra
But-
people
Not
trampling
this
the
is the thing,
gates.
right? Most of the issues that people have in society are divided by their groups. And if it doesn't
Because
affect
that's
you,
the way it's fed to you.
Yeah, of course. No, but obviously.
It's digested.
Like, use police brutality as an example. There's a certain segment that looks at it more than another because it doesn't directly affect them. Now, until it affects them, then they'll be
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, you know what, I'm going to
Yeah.
get behind this.
Yeah.
So,
That's
and it comes to
unfortunately-
anything, like Flint, Michigan.
That's-
you
Oh,
know
we
Yeah.
all
What
know-
else is
Yeah.
this? What
The
else
thing is,
that people
these
don't
things were
realize?
still happening then, though, when
Of
Woodstock
course.
happened. And
Of
people
course.
were able
Nah,
to do
nah,
that.
but what
See what I'm saying? It's
But
not
they-
just on
but-
anyone,
but
it's
hold
on
on.
everyone.
Well, you're speaking
It's the
in-
way
but
us
the
as
thing
a
is, you're
society
speaking in
are
general,
now.
you got to speak more specific about certain things.
Not-
It didn't just happen because it happened.
Yeah.
And what was Woodstock? A bunch of people smoking weed? What did Woodstock
No,
actually stop?
it's a bunch of basically
Well-
the whole everything from civil
But
rights
everybody wasn't
stuff.
there. Everybody
No, not
wasn't there.
everyone wasn't there. But what I'm saying is, what it was is this thing that was done on. It was meant to be like, I don't know, maybe 10, 20,000 people. They had a certain permit, whatever. This little town outside of New York, whatever. You know, they paid this
Yeah.
person, used their property, chopped down the fields, built a stage, whatever. 100,000 plus people within the first day and a half showed up because of the lineup of the show and how iconic it was.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what all these artists what they represented and the whole movement that was going on at that time.
Yeah.
And to the second day, the guy who was running the thing was like, all right, well, I'm apologizing basically to ticket holders now, but this is now a free show. Because basically there's nothing you could do about it. They shut a whole town down. They shut the fucking whole highway down. You know what I mean? Like,
But
that
what-
would
but
not
why-
happen nowadays.
This actually
Yeah.
would, but what difference did it make?
I think what people don't
That's what I'm saying.
understand.
What difference did it make? A
Check
bunch of
this
people
out, check
actually
this
went
out.
for a concert, right?
Yeah.
That, talk about social issues.
this out, though, check
But
this
what
out.
happened after that?
Check this out. Let me say this, man. A lot of people
We
talk
can't
about
romant-
revolution,
but
right?
the thing is, we can't romanticize
Okay,
the past.
so check this out.
Well, the problem is
talk
a
about-
lot of
hold
things
on,
they were
man.
talking about are the same things people are still
I know
fighting
that.
for today.
Obviously.
A lot of
Minus
people talk about
marijuana.
revolution,
Minus
right?
marijuana.
Obviously.
It's like they gave you marijuana, so
What? But look how long the marijuana fight was.
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
And look how racial it became.
what was Woodstock, 67,
Right?
68?
Nah,
Look how many
when,
lives
but when
it
a lot of
got
people talk
over a
about
little
revolution and they talk about, like, for example, what you're saying, oh, let's have a revolt. Let's do a revolution.
I didn't say that.
Not necessarily like that. Like even like a soft.
I wasn't like anarchy. I'm just saying.
But this is happening all over the world.
Anti-systematic people are the only thing that keep things in check.
What people don't so like it's good to have the mentality, but the things that we haven't as a society or people who kind of want this,
is Rage Against the Machine one of your favorite groups of all time?
Yes, but what I'm asking, what I'm saying is what happens after the revolution. So we haven't thought about what happens after.
Yeah, you gotta have a plan about
Cuba happened.
So we kind of like have to have a plan.
What happened in Cuba?
And kind of
what happened in Cuba?
Well, what happened in Cuba?
They ran a bunch of people out. They ran out there.
It depends the way you read
the history and the way
you look at it.
That was a military coup.
What they did was attempt to do something where they were no longer on a central bank standard globally.
Yeah.
They were on their own standard. And because of that, all of the main corporations of the planet, which are the main countries
What year are we talking?
that are part of the central bank system, boycotted them and fucking...
What year are we speaking
what's it
about?
called? What's it called when you cut the Trade Act off? There's a certain word
what
for
year?
it.
What year? Are we talking about when
Cold War years.
When Castro took over?
It would have been, right around that, yeah.
Okay, so that's what, 50 what? Or even before that?
Something like that.
Right?
Yeah, I think it was 60s, right?
But that was
this is the Cold War.
But it is
so it was like what, like 57 to 62, some shit like that.
The Cold War continued up till like 89.
Yeah, but different false Cold Wars as well.
But it was
and the Cold War that happened here was never really a Cold War. It was just something was happening in another continent, and we need to be persuaded to feel about this.
America or Canada?
The Western world.
Canada's not part of the Cold War.
The revolution isn't cool.
With Cuba, by the way.
Yeah, they're not part of the Cold War.
If you're getting off the central banking system complex, then revolution isn't cool.
You're always talking the central banking shit.
The thing is this,
right? That's what runs the world, though. Everything that runs local, but the that's gonna be. Would you rather find a way to heal it?
No, you gotta remember the Cold War was more about the fight against communism. It wasn't about the central banking system. Exactly. It might have included it, but it mostly was a fight against communism.
Exactly, but why is there a fight against communism? Why is there a fight against a country that really doesn't have a whole lot to do with you overthrowing their government?
Because they had a lot of influence. They're getting influenced by Russia.
And a lot of people why do you need to assassinate or destroy the Black Panthers? The same way all these different things.
The threat that it has to capitalism.
It's a threat.
It has a threat.
But you have to ask, why is it a threat?
Because they have something set up in place and they don't want you fucking.
Is it a threat to the United States though, or is it a threat to something bigger?
Is
the question.
To the money.
It's not just America.
The money.
That's the same shit is happening in
It's the central banking system, and that's why that's important. Because everything goes back to the fucking head of the dragon eventually.
Let me ask you a question. When did the central banking system start?
That happened, around was it mid-1700s?
Mid-1700s, okay. Perfect.
Around that time?
Perfect. Because if you look at the Berlin Conference, when they divided up Africa into little nations to keep it, suppressed.
Yeah.
After World War I?
No, that's before World War I.
Okay.
That's when they colonized Africa. That's why so many places are speaking
It's the
French.
same way as if you look at before the Queen crowned us and officially made us land officially on a global atlas scale.
I didn't get high with
before we basically were forced to be our own country on a global atlas scale by certain people who wrote the world a certain way. The way that Europe used to write us on the map was this whole continent up until where the American borders basically were was Hudson Bay Co. Until literally, if you look, Hudson Bay Co. was incorporated at least 100, 120 years prior to Canada even became its own country. This was just a fucking literally a company to them where they just that's it.
Toronto's
and then eventually you had enough population here where you couldn't just treat this like a giant corporation anymore. You had to give it some fucking rights. So you stole the native term Canada and called it Canada and changed the spelling.
It's still controlled as a country.
But
not as a country, as a corporation.
Hudson Bay Co., British family, all that is hand in hand with the central banking system.
This is still a corporation. Don't be fooled and pretend like it's a country.
We are a corporation.
There's no difference. It's just
our product ID is our social insurance number.
That's it.
All right, man. But on that fucking note,
let's
shout out to the Toronto Raptors for fucking murdering it last
Yes!
night. You know what I'm saying? Like, we tied the fucking series. Shout out to Kawhi. Shout out to Gucci Man for showing up with that dirty ass chain.
He's a dirty player, though. Still, he's a dirty player. But
oh man, the Raptors.
Golden State Warriors for the 3.
This ties into
Yeah, you
something
had a
else I
Golden
want to
State
talk
jersey
about.
last week,
That's my
motherfucker.
team.
Shout out to the Raptors, though.
Okay.
Is it
We're going to the finals.
Straight.
Is it
No.
is it disrespectful that the cameras didn't pan Merc?
Who?
Hey, what?
Was he there?
Mercules was there.
Nobody cares about Mercury's at that.
But do they?
Not at this level. Not the level that he's at.
I don't think they were.
Like
He's popping. Would they put the camera on him?
No.
You don't think?
He probably.
You think they
begged.
TMZ now?
He probably.
Did either one of them have a fucking $1 million
yeah.
chain around their neck?
Right.
Yo, bro, like that chain alone. Come on, he was.
Did they pan
If
it
Pat
out?
Goose was there, they would have scanned the Papoose
No, they
real
wouldn't
quick.
have.
Yo, what's up? It's Pat.
I love Papoose.
Shout out Papoose.
Shout out
Funkication.
Papoose.
And you only ever seen his head without a hat once. Ever.
Yeah, that's very rare.
It's kind of like my
Oh man, I bet his hairline is like Tory Lane's.
Nah, he's got
What
a regular hairline, bro.
about Neo?
Hold on, no. Papoose, everybody thought Papoose' hairline was pushed back, kind of like mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a push back hairline.
Yeah,
That's what
you
happens
do.
when he had dreads and braids. That nigga got a fucking regular hairline.
I pull the gat out, you be scared, man. I push your wig back like Dustin Wareham.
Oh, see the fucking dick, bitch.
Wow. I thought he was kicking somebody else's rhyme.
I ain't
If you guys would do like a KOTD shit here,
yeah.
And just yell at each other.
Okay,
maybe in the future.
We can figure something
the
out,
fuck,
man. We
Man.
can figure something out. That'd be hilarious.
So yo, I don't know. What else we gotta talk about?
Ah, shit.
Well, did we take a week off? Were we here last week? Oh
We
yeah,
were
we
here
had
last
Stitch.
week.
Stitch likes to chat.
Oh, that was a dope show.
Hip chat likes to chat. Make some
All right,
fucking noise for young
let's let
Stitch.
Coco see what's up. You know, Coco,
Yeah,
what's on your
yeah.
mind? What you got
What's
going
going
on?
on?
What do you right now? Because you know, what I'm saying like we
I'm
obviously
actually
stoned.
enjoying this
and-
right now. I don't know what's going on.
Ah.
We were talking about abortions and STDs, and then this
Oh,
fucking thing
yeah.
went limp.
Oh no! Gotta give it some vibe.
Be stuck in Lennox, catching more bodies in abortion clinics.
Make sure you put that.
Shut
at
up,
the
Big
beginning
L.
of it.
What are your
Yeah.
guys' opinions on the struggles in the different communities? That's my question. for
Which
you guys.
community specifically? There's a lot of communities. There's like the Crayola.
There's a lot
part.
of struggles. I know it's like
There's like-
Crayola
there's-
box of crayons.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I was just gonna say there's like guys who like crayons, there's guys
No,
who like
but do you know
pencil
what the
crayon.
thing
You
is?
know what I'm saying? Whatever.
No, I took it
The
from
problem with
I got nothing.
this question is too
Is it-
open-ended.
Now,
The
but
problem
like,
with
which
it
community
is,
you talking
I
about?
know
Like,
what you
about
mean by it, but having to play devil's advocate in this scenario,
Fuck playing devil's advocate.
Yeah,
This is
like,
tough.
get
the
your
struggles
Get out
in
of
every
here.
community.
Let her
Okay,
answer the
so-
question.
Man, there was
What do
that
you
old
think
white
about-
couple, and then the dude who's doing the landscape and buried 21 bodies in their yard, like
What?
bodies. So,
Where
yo,
was that at?
I don't know, whatever that one dude, the gay rapist guy.
Oh,
The one around
yeah,
Church Street
yeah.
and shit.
And he
that
was
one?
like a
Yeah.
landscaper
Yeah.
burying bodies in
Yeah.
like
That
this
was
old
fucked.
couple's
Targeting
backyard.
gay people. and shit.
Like, I don't know what neighborhood
Yeah,
it
it's like
was.
a
no,
Let's
he was
just say-
actually going to the gay
Vines.
neighborhood and
No, I know,
I
but
love that
the
show.
house he
Like
buried
Arthur,
on bones
whatever
at.
it
that's
is.
fucked up. That happened here.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just.
And
That's
he-
a struggle in that
I think his name was
community.
Bruce
You know what's fucked up,
MacArthur.
though?
That Bruce MacArthur.
We barely
I didn't
heard
want to
about
say
it.
his fucking name
You
because he
barely heard
doesn't
about it.
deserve to have his
Nah.
name said.
I feel you. I
You know
feel
what
you.
I'm
barely heard
saying?
about it.
But
I
that,
bet
I
you
didn't
he's
remember his
Jewish.
name, so
Yeah.
that's good for you then.
But
You
no,
trying
but
to get
like,
us fucking done?
what community is he talking about though?
Stop
Okay,
this!
so let's not look at communities like
we-
specifically.
You gotta
Let's look at
joke,
more
man.
at different things that are happening. So like
Alright.
when you walk the streets of Toronto, for example, okay, so
Yeah.
that's where we are right now. So we're talking about that. What do you think when you walk and you see like bare garbage everywhere? Like,
I
do you
don't
get
like
mad or are you like, fuck it?
Well,
I'm
like,
like,
yo,
I
Toronto,
fucking
we're
Are you
hate
one of the people that fucking throws wrappers on the floor on the
Fuck
ground
no.
with a fucking garbage
No,
can?
but I do
beside
flick
you?
butts on the ground.
Okay,
That's
well, that's
nasty.
cigarette butt. What do you do? You
Flick butts
flick
on the
them?
ground.
That's
Oh,
nasty.
like onto the
But
ground.
if I'm walking by and I see dudes dashes McDonald's, I
Hey,
should be like,
somebody else-
yo, mans, bare garbage out here, fam, eh? Fucking smarten up, doggy. And I chop him in the throat.
You know what though?
Would you? Because I want to film that shit.
I personally don't care about the garbage in Toronto.
Why?
Because, okay, I was rolling with someone from Scarborough the other day.
Okay, let's hear this.
And they were like, I hate Toronto because it's so dirty. And
I hate people who live in Toronto who hate
No,
Toronto.
but she's from
Wait, wait.
Scarborough.
Oh.
So therefore,
It's still part of fucking
there's a
Toronto. I'm
difference.
It's a difference.
There's a
Just like in
difference.
Etobicoke.
Yeah, hold on. There's a huge difference between
Yeah,
downtown
but
What are your
Toronto,
opinions,
being
guys?
from
I
anywhere
want them
else.
in
Even like the
conclusions
beaches.
right now.
even Jane and Finch when I
No,
was
you're
up there
talking
for a
to
while.
Scarberry and the East Sider for real.
Oh, no,
but
Jane and Finch
but-
is
still your
different,
fucking
though.
city
But
the
it's
whole way
still
through.
cleaner than downtown Toronto.
Yes.
Depends
You know
what part you
Of
go
course,
to, though.
but in general.
Depends on part you go
Okay.
In
to.
general. In general.
Yes and no.
In general.
Yes and no.
In general. Anyways, I've heard this from
Fine.
many people
Thank you.
that
Malvin's looking real
don't
nice
live
lately.
downtown.
Okay.
Malvin's
Right?
looking beautiful.
Okay.
right
I know that,
now.
but
Yes.
what I'm saying, in
Okay.
general, most people
Okay.
Do you
that
know
I
how much manpower it takes to keep downtown clean?
Exactly.
That's like
I
an
don't
impossible
care.
At the end of the
task.
day, at the end of
Okay.
fucking day, I don't give a fuck if you like downtown Toronto or not. It is what it is. We got crackheads. We got fucking prostitutes.
everyone-
we got this. We got everything of every negative
Yeah.
thing you want to see. If you
There's
don't
more
like
of
it,
that everywhere else.
don't
though.
motherfucking come down here.
Well, I wouldn't say that would
feel
stop me
you.
from coming to
No,
downtown.
but what I'm saying
I-
is,
but that's what that
with
person
the
was on.
with the dirt,
Okay.
it's just the aesthetic of the city.
See, I wish
Because
Toronto
if
was.
I go to New York, if I go to Manhattan, I see rats and shit running around.
But do you know what?
It's
Yeah, that's
nasty.
the
true
same-
because there's nasty shit. But
It is what
Wait,
it is.
I want to ask: is anyone in this room an old soul? Like,
An
you
old
guys
soul?
are older than I am, 100%. So you guys, I still don't think you've seen it for what it was, type thing. But like, you definitely saw Toronto for what it was. But back when like Yonge Street used to be like pump full of strip clubs and fucking
yeah,
pimps and
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
hookers
Grimy
and
as
shit.
fuck. We
went to
Yeah, I
fucking
grew up
school
in
with each
Toronto.
other back then.
Yeah, and you
Like,
guys are a little
really?
older, so you've seen that era.
Yeah.
Like, I just wish I could come to
yeah.
Toronto one day and just see that. The same way when I'm in Manhattan. It's like
Dundas
I'm walking
Square
through Times
era.
Square, and it's like Times Square is
Dundas
fucking
Square
what,
era,
like
Toronto.
43rd
Fuck
or
yeah.
something. Yo, like. Used
Check
to
it
be
out.
fucking
There used to be a
prostitutes and pimps
time-
and fucking, you know, like it's like I just wish I could walk through like that real essence of the city.
You know you need to go.
Like
to
everything's
Vancouver.
condos and
get
fucking
weed in front of
shoppers
fucking
at
East
Walmart.
Center on the
You know y'all
regular.
need to go if you've never been there in Vancouver, East Hastings.
Yeah.
When I was out there,
That's
I
why
wanted to
I'm
go
dirty as
down
fuck.
there, and everybody I was rolling with from Vancouver said, "I can't bring you down there. I can't bring you down there."
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm going on my own.
Word.
And it was like going to the like Wizard of Oz, the ghetto version.
Yeah.
This dude, I don't know who the fuck he was. He was like, "Yo, I'm gonna bring you through here." It was like that. It was like hell on earth, yo.
Yo,
But I
I'm
was like,
gonna
yo.
bring you through.
Yeah.
But you just got lucky.
And then he brought me in, brought me out. It was almost, and then he's like, "Yeah, okay." He goes, "I don't go no further than here."
Yo, you remember the walk from Trebas to the Eaton Center
yeah,
back
that's
in the day?
fucked up.
That was a
Dundas,
fucking
yeah.
walk on Dundas.
Yeah, you see all
So
types of
Dundas
shit.
and
Yeah.
fucking like Parliament
types
to
of
the
shit.
Yeah,
Eaton
yeah.
Center back in the day.
Yo.
I'm talking like 20 years ago. That shit was a fucking walk and a half,
Man.
bro. Walk and a half. Like,
See, I wish
the
I could just
shit
like
was-
sunbathe in the middle of
like
the
a
street
shoe
for
like a
one day and
20
watch
Yeah.
it.
And that's the thing is, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna in other places.
Ah.
You're not gonna see it like how you see
Yeah, I
downtown
feel you, I
Toronto.
feel you.
And I
No,
get
it's
it.
true, it's
It's
true.
not the pretty
But I
shit
still
to
don't let
see.
motherfuckers trip and throw the trash
Yeah.
on the ground.
No,
That
no,
costs
no,
a
no,
lot.
I know that. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that. What I'm
Doesn't
saying
need
is
to be
this,
done.
right? Regardless of
I
the
like the
trash,
graffiti, though.
regardless of
I love
the
the
trash
graffiti.
on the ground
I
or
love
not,
that shit.
it's still gonna be dirty.
Yeah.
People still piss in the
I
corners.
love trash
People
on
still,
the ground.
It is
yeah,
what
well,
it
yeah,
is.
because you got fucking crackheads. And
But
shit
I
all
know what you mean.
I
though.
wish
Now,
I
yo,
was
Like I expect
I'll say this,
Chinatown to
I'll
smell
say
like
this.
Chinatown. You know what I'm saying? I expect Parkdale to be Parkdale.
In my hometown-
I expect certain parts.
Yeah.
I expect like Queen and Spadina all
Yeah.
the way through to like Trinity Bellwoods
Yeah.
to kind of be somewhat
Yeah.
on the
Yo,
shady side.
anywhere where it's
Yeah.
metropolitan
I
and
feel
city,
you.
I expect it to be trashy.
Look at
It's
Hamilton.
almost too clean.
I expect
But
people
Toronto's
sleeping
too
on the
clean.
benches in Dundas.
Now, yo,
Dundas
you live
Park.
somewhere where I grew up, Brantford, a little fucking hick-ass town, 100,000 people, whatever, everyone,
Yo.
apartment buildings shit
Listen,
hardly
listen.
exist. It's all houses
Shout out
spread
to
out.
fucking Hamilton.
But yo, what I'm
Hamilton
saying,
has some ghetto ass motherfucking.
if there's trash on
Yes.
the ground there, though,
Yes.
oh my God,
Holy
that matters.
shit.
You're like, oh, this
Fuck
looks
yeah.
nasty,
They're
man.
not really
In
like
the
pockets.
city,
It's like
concrete
Hamilton-
jungle.
Yeah.
the pockets.
Hamilton's a grimy ass little
There's
fucking
pockets of
town,
nice
man.
spots.
No, yo, shout outs to
Yeah.
Hamilton.
These little
Shout outs to all my
Shout out to
Steel City
Hamilton
people.
anyway.
These little Canadian
I ain't
towns
mad
are
at you.
getting grimy as fuck.
Oshawa.
Niagara Falls,
We're not
Canada's
gonna-
another town
Dirty
too that's
Schwaz.
fucked
Yeah,
up, man.
yeah.
But I don't even know if it's
Oshawa's
it's grimy.
Oshawa's
But is
awful
it
fucking-
dirty? Like downtown
Certain
Toronto?
parts,
Certain
yeah,
parts
certain
are
parts are
dirty.
dirty.
Yeah, certain
So-
parts are really dirty.
And
Shout out
okay,
to the
But-
Schwa. The dirty
I don't think
Schwa.
you
Call it
should
the
be
dirty
polluted.
Schwa.
I'm not
I
in
don't.
for
Yeah,
that.
okay,
Yo.
so you're not down for that shit because
Yeah.
the thing is, like,
What certain areas you really
I've been
expect it?
places where I see people just drop.
This is some
shit
real
and I'm
Toronto
like,
talk,
what
by the way.
Fuck. Like there was a garbage can right beside
Yeah,
me.
that's fucked up.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
my kid will be beside me.
Yeah.
We'll be, walking the streets, whatever, and he'll cuss about it. And I just, like, you kind of half want to die of laughter because he's, like, 8.
Yeah.
But even he, like, he gets pissed off because he's like, what the fuck? There's garbage and there's a garbage can. Like,
you know what's crazy, though? For
Those
him,
are the same dudes, though, that are dropping that trash that don't know how to pull out.
Hey, yo, did they ever catch that guy who's going around shitting on the sidewalk?
I'm waiting for these guys to say something profound.
You guys remember that guy was going around shitting everywhere? Though? They're like, we know there's a human like shitting all around Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
But did they ever catch that motherfucker?
I don't know, but I've been
I hope so,
seeing man shit on sidewalks.
And along with
let
that,
me fucking slap you like your mother should
the
have.
owners
You know
of
what I'm
dogs that are
saying?
shitting all over the place.
Yo, I might have bodied a man. I might have bodied a man.
Mine garbage.
I don't want to
saying
kill
I might
dogs,
have.
but I want to kill the motherfucking people's dogs who don't pick up their shit in my neighborhood.
It's the owner's
They're
fault.
letting people shit like their dogs shit on my lawn. It's like,
oh my god! You know what?
Hold
One time, no, wait. One time, I saw this thing. I'm sorry. I saw this thing on Instagram. Okay, this video. I'm sorry, but I'll fucking forget.
The amount of shit in my
So this guy, he had whatever. His house was there, and then there was concrete. He had a gate, and there was concrete on the other side. But it was still his property. Okay, so this lady let her, and she's crackhead in the half, you can tell. So this lady lets her dog shit. This little dog just shits all over the place. And then she's like, she's just walking on, you know? And the guy comes out, and he's like, yo, pick up your dog's shit.
Fuck yeah.
Right? And she's like, what? And he's like, I know you heard me. Pick up your dog's shit.
Please.
And her, like, fucked up boyfriend is not too far, like, off, like, leaning on a car. He's high as hell, right? It's like he just did a line or a bunch.
Oh,
or like
not off
heroin.
my G.
It was like one of those ones, right?
Yeah, not off my G.
So the guy goes, you either pick up your dog's shit, or I'm gonna knock out your fucking crackhead boyfriend. Yo, she picked up that shit. She looked at her boyfriend. Do something? Like, bro, he's cracked out on the car. Like,
she was kind of pumped that, like,
I don't know, it was on Instagram. I don't know.
Oh, it's on Instagram. Oh, shit.
I don't know.
People who are letting their like dog shit everywhere around my neighborhood is fucking nasty.
Gross,
that's
right?
worse than the
You can't step
ground.
anywhere. Like, you should be able to walk the grass and play soccer or whatever without having to.
I should not. Dog shit off my fucking line.
I remember when I first stepped in shit.
Only at the park.
What happened to you, Stoan, the first time
This
you
was in
stepped
Alberta,
in shit?
actually. I was living in Edmonton.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And anyways,
I heard shit on my head when I was in grade school.
Did you get money after?
No, but I was fat at the time, so I was really embarrassed, and I was like, fuck. And I ran inside and cried and washed my hair under a spout, and no one caught the bird shit on my hair. And that was like the biggest W of grade school. Like junior high right there, that was the biggest dub right there. It was like, no one caught the bird shit.
Under a spout.
Yeah.
Spout?
a spout.
Fucking spout. Wash my hair under a spout.
I was going to ask, like, what's your background? Portuguese?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Can you actually speak Portuguese?
Some.
Portuguese?
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand more than I can speak.
I had like a
I'm
Portuguese
teaching
stepdad back in the day. My mom was
okay.
like dating this Portuguese guy.
Yeah.
I didn't learn much.
Did
I
you
like
hear him speak
fangula or
Portuguese?
something like that.
Yeah, that's bad. It's like
I love
fucking-
That's the only
Like,
shit
fuck
I knew.
off.
You know
That's
what
my
I'm saying?
favorite. Nah, I stopped eating pork a long time ago.
I was just asking
do,
if the
but
two
like-
people related with pork
I don't
chops on
like
the plate.
pork.
Wow.
No, a little bit.
Word,
Yeah.
shout out to Portuguese people, man. I always like Portuguese
I
people.
went to West
Thank
Toronto.
you, thank you.
Big Portuguese school.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah.
Shout out to all the Portuguese people in the place. I have a very funny questioning of my whole existence in life.
Let's hear it.
And so for most of my life, I thought I was Irish until I was about 10 years old. I went to a family reunion.
You found out you were Jewish.
No, I found out I was 90% Polish people. So I found out I was Polish. At the time, I was not
So
very...
how do you know? How do you know?
Hold on, but I was not very well seasoned.
Yeah,
with
because Maloney's like an Irish fucking
ethnicity.
name, right?
Yeah.
Irish as
Kelly
fuck.
Maloney? You don't get more Irish than that.
Yeah.
Irish as fuck.
Jump
Out
around,
here.
jump up, and get down. Jump.
Fucking house
Is it
hate
both
ass
sides of
Fucking
family
drop
or
kick
just
Murphy's
one side of
motherfucker.
family?
You know
Maybe
what?
once.
Was it both
Ship it
sides
off
of
the
family?
bus.
or one
It
side?
was one side of the family, but
Yeah.
it was this disappointment. And see, for me, I
Yeah.
thought it was bad. I'm like 10. I'm like,
Oh, Irish.
Irish?
Yeah.
But my one uncle, he was mad. He's like, I grew up river dancing and shit. He was happy. Like, he was cheesed.
Yo,
But so, I had this identity
He
crisis.
invested into the
Different.
Boston
What
fucking
I mean?
Celtics and
But
shit. eh?
I was. But yo,
Shout out to Lee Mike.
I wasn't well informed on international countries and cultures
Yeah.
at the time. for a couple of years, I remembered Polish being Portuguese. And people who I met, I actually told I was Portuguese. And now I have friendships with people who are Portuguese, who now know I'm not Portuguese, I'm Polish. But that started in this segment.
Well,
And to bring it back full circle, the only reason I would say something disrespectful as pork chop is because, as for one time, I thought I was pork chop.
Wow. So you thought you were Irish and Portuguese.
Yeah.
I
But
am
you were really
sorry
Polish.
for you.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, because Polish is so whack.
I wish you grew up like in and
I
around
didn't
Little
say
Portugal,
that.
Parkdale, all those areas. Because then you would have been exposed to all
No.
that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used.
Little Portugal's there, Little Polish land.
No,
yeah.
Ronceville down the street. Plus everything else mixed them together.
I've been in. I used to work in a really Polish neighborhood.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized how Polish I was not.
Because maybe you didn't grow up with the
I grew up with no tradition.
Yeah,
Well,
so
that's why then. Yeah.
that's why you're freaking out about me eating
'Cause you're not-
pierogies.
Yeah, you know more about pierogies than I do. How the fuck does that make sense?
Shit, I had
Yo,
pierogies
man.
for lunch
But
yesterday.
yo, I seen the blueberry
had those
pierogi
solo.
place at St. Lawrence Market, and now I understand. I didn't order them because they had a couple of flavors. I was like, that looks poppin'. But I seen them, and I was like, I get it.
Yo, you think they can make fucking jerk chicken pierogies, bro?
Yeah.
Jerk chicken
Have you ever had jerk chicken
pierogies?
pierogies?
No, you think that's possible?
That would be bomb.
You can put
I
jerk
want some
chicken in
fucking
literally
jerk chicken
anything.
Let's
pierogies.
Yeah.
do that.
How can we make that happen? I don't know shit about pierogies. How can we make
I'm
this jerk
Polish,
chicken-
I'll
Oh,
learn.
I was just about to
I
say.
want some fucking jerk chicken
He'll
pierogies.
learn.
Let's
I'll
make
learn.
this shit happen, folks.
I'll
How can
learn.
we make this happen on Toronto
So hold
Talks?
on. There
Let's
had
hook
to be
this
a
shit
merger.
up.
We could do a food eating competition sometime.
Yeah, something like that.
Alright.
Let's
We could do a
do
little
that.
cat.
I'll come.
So yo,
Chicken pierogies.
the Shot Club podcast. We're in a podcast beef right now. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to my dude.
Shout out to
You know what I'm
Mo
saying?
overseas
Yeah,
right now.
with
We were supposed to
DT.
have him on the show, but we ran out of time.
Is this slightly ironic that MO and DT are on tour right now?
What?
You're on
They
And
are?
when you put it together, it says Moat. They should be the waviest rap group of all time and do a duo project.
So done.
Shout out my cousin. Shout out Mo, man. Kill it over
Shout
there.
out.
Woo! New
Yes.
school rules, fucking tour. I
Yes,
think he was on that
Hey.
shit as
School.
well.
Stupid.
Yes.
Yeah, I like
Shout out
it.
to Hook and
Shout out
Go.
to Tony.
I like how a whole lot of-
Amsterdam and shit, baby. That's
Yes.
what's up.
A
man.
whole lot of nut hugging happened real quick right there.
Wait, where?
I get asked to go on that tour, but I
Yo,
never
it's
have
the
the
Shot
money to
Club
like come out of
podcast.
pocket to just leave for like a month.
We have to lay
You
the
know what the
rules
one
of
thing
the
is
beef.
about that tour and
Oh,
upcoming
man,
ones
you got-
Yeah.
is that
We
they
haven't-
hook you up with grant writers.
Yo,
so
shout out
once
to
you
them.
say, yeah, I want to do this, and they immediately hook you up with grant writers that can get you some
Money
of
to
that.
go.
You need to
Because
talk to
this
DT
started
about
last
that.
year. No, but this
Talk to
started last
DT
year
about
where they
that.
started it, right?
Talk to DT
So
about
you get
that.
time.
Talk
you
to my
need
cousin
3.
about that shit.
It all depends
yeah,
on
that's
when
your
you get
cousin, I forgot.
notification
Yeah,
about
that's true.
things.
Yeah, not everyone can
'Cause
be
even-
cousins with DT.
Yeah, it
No,
depends.
but-
Well, you know what?
And-
Sorry, Dustin.
Ain't even about being
not
cousins.
about being
Like
cousins.
we talk about it after.
It's
you know what
part
I'm
of it.
saying?
It's part of it.
Team
That's,
social,
that's what
bro.
part of it is. You get
No,
the
no,
grant
we'll
writer.
talk about it after.
Yo, Mike.
Right.
I really want you to get in your bag right now.
Why? What do you
What
want?
the fuck is bugging you?
Nothing.
There's
I'm
something.
fucking happy as hell.
No,
Fuck
there's
everybody.
something
fuck are you
bugging
talking
me.
No, I'm happy. Fuck everybody.
Yo, so random. What
Fuck
the fuck are you
everyone.
talking
Happy,
about? Like,
bro.
this man's getting your bag right now.
My team is in the playoffs.
Oh, so you're
this
rooting
is
for
what
Adams?
I don't give a no. My
Right
team
there.
is. I mean,
Oh,
the
fuck
final.
Oh!
Sorry.
Wait, who's your
They're
team?
getting rest
Yeah,
right now.
it's
So
W.
fuck Golden
Who's your
State.
team?
GSW.
Fuck Golden State. Yo, he wore the
I'm good,
sweater
right?
last
I'm
week.
not
You
no- I have
even
no issues,
commented
man.
on
I
that
know his
shit.
name.
You were like, yo, that's a dope fucking hoodie. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
No, like, look.
Fuck Golden State.
I don't
You're getting
think it's
that
cool.
rest right
I don't
now.
like teams, I like colors.
Well, like everything's cool, but fuck
I
everybody.
like running shoes.
And I don't mean fuck everybody, but fuck everybody because it doesn't matter. As long as you're good, fuck everybody. And then there's different ways to fuck everybody. Not just
Okay.
fuck them. You can
So-
fuck them, or you can say fuck them.
Hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where you're going with that.
Right? I
No,
was
no,
trying
yeah.
to. Oh, yeah, I was trying to see too.
I feel
I was
This
just
continues
making
to
that
an
up on the
important
spot.
conversation.
Yeah, fuck them. Who cares?
Fuck them.
Because
You
fuck
actually
them.
the
the
Bucks.
answer to
Can mean
a lot.
That's how
Respect.
I feel like fuck the Bucks
But
right now.
has anyone in
You know
this
what I'm saying? Like,
room
that's very
And I'm
important.
saying
ever
fuck them.
committed a hate
Oh,
fuck?
get the fuck out of here.
Hate fuck?
Get the fuck
A
out
hate
of
fuck.
Have
Has
you?
anyone committed a hate fuck?
A hate fuck? No.
Hate, you talking about hate fucking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had sex with significant others and at that moment, I felt like I really hated them, and we were working shit out. By the time I busted a nut, I was like,
that
oh man,
really
that argument, you know, like we
It's
worked that
over.
argument out.
It's
Yeah.
over.
What is that hate fuck?
That's like actually the
think
most
that's called
aggressive
makeup
hate fuck
sex.
you could ever do.
Isn't that called makeup sex? That's
Well,
called
That's what
in
they call it.
the
Yeah.
spur of the moment. In the spur of the moment.
You have to
know,
let
like,
us know if it's
fuck
makeup
her,
sex
and
or hate
it's all
fuck,
done.
because that depends how I make jokes.
Loathing to loving, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, if that's what it means by hate fuck, like,
Everyone does makeup sex, but have you hate fuck?
I ain't fucking a bitch because I hate her, and I don't even mean to call her a bitch. I'm sorry, I just came
Like,
up that
you
way.
mean
Oh,
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg in
Came
the
on,
place.
came
All
on.
right.
Not, no, like if I hate a woman, I ain't
From the
even trying
depths
to, like,
of the seas,
You're not
back
even
to the
trying to do
blockest Dustin Wareham
I'm trying to
grabbing
avoid that
his cock
shit.
went solo on his ass, but you're still a bitch.
get the fuck out of here.
All right then.
At this point in my life, I try to avoid the things I hate, so I ain't trying to put my dick
Ah.
in
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Positive
Though. Some
energy.
guys, some people will fuck
Positive
somebody
energy, man.
just because
Out
they
of
hate
spite
them.
or
And
hatred.
be like,
Demonic
oh,
sexual
you thought this was
energy
gonna
I'm
be
not
something
trying to bring
more?
into my life.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's nuts. That's why I actually
Apparently.
posed the question.
It
Have
fucking
you?
is nuts.
Because the idea of like a taboo, like stepsister porn on Pornhub, it's like
Here we go, Pornhub guys.
the idea of a hate
Shout
fuck.
out Pornhub.
Like, yo, this
Damn,
person
damn.
fucked me over. Now I'm busting nuts.
Hold on.
Next thing you know, you got 5 people. What the fuck?
Okay,
What are we talking
but that
about
being
here?
said,
As a face
she just said,
value,
here we go, guys,
sounds
Pornhub.
great.
So, are you a frequenter of Pornhub?
Oh, Dustin
No,
getting
but
this
I see-
nasty bag.
I've seen it
Yeah, I've seen it a few times.
because
yeah.
you knew what it
Oh,
was.
Dustin
wait,
getting
the
this
way you
nasty
responded.
bag.
One, I know what it is, and 2, you guys talk about it on here. That just shows I watch this bunch.
I don't know if you've ever dropped
influencing people.
Have you ever name
The
dropped
same
Pornhub?
one that you got one of the 3 highest.
When we talked about
ratings
amateur porn
on
and
that
fucking
show. And
I
then
didn't
something was on
Do
Pornhub.
people get
Shut
paid
up.
actually that amount, or is it per stream?
Shout out to porn.
I don't-
Yeah, people
That's
do
just
that.
probably like
People like
contracting.
porn.
It's like
Yeah.
they own the porn after you
Right?
film it, you get a
Thank
certain
you.
price.
Okay.
And if it
That's
That's
pops,
basically what I was
then I get
asking.
the money.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Throw it
Yes,
out
I
there.
know.
Let 'em know.
37.
Get paid up.
For what?
Everybody
For what?
Unless it's
For
amateur
what?
porn. Unless
Yeah,
it's amateur.
to fucking
Sorry, well,
37,000 for amateur porn?
on Pornhub. I don't know if that's based on streams or just on.
That's
actually
gotta be based on
submitting.
The
feelings.
fuck when it's streamed.
They probably
Yeah.
treat that shit like
Yeah,
views, man.
because they don't look. They're not gonna give you just.
Do you think Drake watched it like a Juman girl video?
No, he
you know what
watched
that
his own
is?
girl.
That was a tongue
Like those
twister.
those bukkake videos.
He watched his own shit.
German goo girl. That shit.
He watched
Do you
Right?
think
Yeah,
he
he
watched
probably
that
makes his
before?
own videos.
Wait, hold on. Do you think he watched
just
that
a youngin'.
and got inspired before he made views? Because it was
And
views
went
from
and
the
made
different
his son.
6 point
That's what he
views.
fucking did. He called her up. He's like, I like your videos. Let's
Let's
make a.
make
Let's
this
throw
happen."
half on a fucking baby.
Yeah,
I've
let's do
seen
it.
what you already look like. Let's get it on.
Let's
Huh?
go.
He
Let's
really
see
said
if
haven't been
I already
able to
know
work?
what you can do.
I don't know, but he's asking if
I
you
already
watch
know what you
some
look like. I
German
already
goo
know what you
films.
look
You
like
fucking
when
watch
you're
his
doing
baby
it.
mom
Yo.
instead. You know.
Put me in that
People have
spot,
accounted stories of
and then
hanging
let's
out
go.
in the studio with Kanye and Drake and they were watching porn.
Oh,
How would that
Yeah,
be?
and Zara Aziz or whatever his name is talked about fucking Kanye throwing on some porn while he was at his house and he was weirded the fuck out by that shit.
was it
Drake was weirded out?
You know, no.
Zara
I bet you
Aziz,
that's their
whatever
bond.
that guy's
I bet
name
you
is.
that's why no
Kanye's
matter
house,
how
Kanye
hard
was
they
playing
fight,
porn.
they always
Oh.
love each other.
This guy
With
called
Kanye and Drake.
It's a lot of
He's like,
shit.
dude,
You're going like a scrotum, dog.
There's a lot of shit happening sexually that, you know.
Wow.
Actually, yeah, let's talk about that.
What the fuck?
I was just talking to the camera. Yeah.
Let's talk about it. What we talking about?
So, like, do you know that there are parties and shit that goes on
In Hollywood?
yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I
all the
guess.
fucked up shit
That's
in
what they
Hollywood.
say.
Now, how
Let's
much
talk
do we
about-
believe is
There's
the
a-
question.
Where's the?
All
Bro,
of it.
there's a lot of
All of
fucking
it.
different
Ali Vega said he tried
footage
to.
of
Someone tried to
different
fuck
people,
him.
artists and actors and
the deal.
actresses that are being interviewed more and more and more and more of this in the last like 2 years especially.
But it's always usually
Things
the
are
washed
coming
up
out.
ones.
Who wants to bet that
Nah,
John
you
Travolta?
know.
In general, in
Yeah,
general.
Yeah, hold on.
Who wants to bet John Travolta and Mel Gibson have definitely fucked
I doubt it.
at one of these
I
Hollywood weird parties?
Bro, I don't know, but I
I'm
know a
not
lot of
gonna-
Wait,
shit
is Mel
that-
Gibson the other
that's
gay
beyond
one?
fucking
Secret gay
mine. Like, I
one?
just
But here,
think-
let me
No,
say
it's John
something.
Travolta and who's
What do
the
you
next
guys
dude?
think?
As
Fucking
somebody who's
gross.
working on a TV show,
Tom
right now,
Cruise.
Oh yeah.
Tom Cruise.
You said
Nah,
that,
I
yeah.
doubt
Sorry,
I
Tom
doubt
Cruise.
it.
Mel Gibson.
No, Tom Cruise and
No, just
John
in
I doubt that.
John
Travolta?
Travolta. They've definitely
But I
fucked.
think John what's
One
his
hundo,
name?
P.
Tom Cruise is a
John Travolta's
Scientologist.
definitely.
Scientologist.
They're both Scientologists.
Okay?
Yeah. And that's why they toss mad scientific salads.
In these parties, they got like masks on and shit, and they film you doing shit so that you can go higher up the ladder.
That was called Eyes Wide Shut. He did that.
What's worse?
There you go. Okay.
What's worse, being in a gay sex cult or a dope fucking sex cult?
A sex cult, period. What?
No, Eyes Wide Shut was his wife. I was thinking of Vanilla Sky. My bad. But listen, what I want to say
right now.
Might
be a gold thing, right? It's what's the name of the fucking?
Right now, I'm working on a show, right?
Illuminati on my soul in my body.
Let me explain something. I'm working on a TV show right now, so I can imagine working on a movie because I'm working on this and like literally we're putting in 18 hours a fucking day. So if you're working on a movie and you're doing 18 hours a day for 3 or 4 months. Believe me, these motherfuckers are gonna blow off some steam on the weekends. Where
do you want to cry sometimes?
No, I don't want to cry. Like I just want to fucking go home and sleep sometimes.
Yo,
but
crying is.
I guarantee you, on the weekends when these guys are partying, especially if they're filming somewhere that's far away from home, they're getting fucked up or they're fucking like fucking rabbits. Same thing with athletes, Olympic athletes, bro.
Like a literal rabbit or like a Playboy bunny?
Yeah,
Olympic athletes, when these guys are doing the Olympics and stuff,
you need an answer.
Olympic Village, yo, after they're done their sport, they're getting their fuck on like crazy because they worked so hard to get to where they're at. So trust me, bro. These people in the industry, they're gonna have some fucked up, crazy parties.
So you're saying if I work hard to be a rapist, I'm gonna get mad pussy?
Nah, but if you work hard to be a fucking decent celebrity, you might get some.
Oh
sorry to your girlfriend, because I'm sure she's probably providing you with plenty, but that, I can't really conversate on that. I don't know. But
my girl.
I'm saying if you were more than a decent celebrity.
Linda.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
shout out to you, Linda.
When you're working those 18-hour days and you got
those are all nicknames.
Lindor, he's coming home to you, girl.
They're cute nicknames.
He wants it. Okay, I was gonna say something about Lindor melts in your mouth.
Who sang "Murder Them to Blood Clot"?
What?
Do you remember that? Was it like?
Wait, Lil Kim.
And we murdered them to blood clot.
Oh,
and we murdered them to blood clot.
That sounds like a rock song, man.
That sounds like you're trying to imitate Barrington Levy or something.
No, it wasn't Barrington Levy. What the fuck was that fucking joint, man?
Blah, 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 blah.
No, it wasn't Junior Reed. It was like
I know what he's talking
mid 2000s, real
I know
like.
exactly what song you're talking about.
One's killing
like,
game.
This guy has lyrics in his head for like. He's got 28 years of fucking lyrics crammed in his head. Any song randomly.
Yeah, I just remember shit.
Like, what the hell?
The funny thing is, some remember it, and then I'll tell the whole shit. And I'm like, oh shit, that song exists.
You got a great
That's
fucking
cool.
memory for actual like lyrics and shit. Like you'd be amazing on. You probably has a whole script.
Yeah, that's why I hate every rap
shit. Exactly. That's because you know
the whole analyze words and shit. You know what I mean? I'm like,
yo,
that was cool, but that wasn't that dope.
Yeah, Kid Like Cudi type motherfucker.
Oh god, so what's this Kid Like Cudi? I'm fucking smacking him with the hair on my ass.
Yo, that's Maloney's favorite line. A Kid Like Cudi is his favorite punchline.
Yeah, you wish.
Of all time.
No,
you're gonna hit him with the hair on your ass?
Could someone say?
How long is that shit?
Wait, I have a question. As someone else who writes lyrics, could you use "I'm a kid like Cudi" as a punchline and ever make it effectively sick? I say no. Dustin argued me. He said you can make it sick.
I don't know.
No, you can't make that sick ever.
Like
everything depends on how you finesse.
You can be Hove.
That's what I said, right?
No, you can be Hove and say that, and people be like, "Oh, remember when he said that Kid Like Cudi bar?" You know what I mean? Like, people are always waiting for you to spit a whack bar. Like Biggie sucks your dad's dick and shit. It's like you're just waiting on you to spit whack. Yo, I'm telling you, certain lines you can't recover from. Yo, you can't recover from certain lines. And I'm a Kid Like Cudi is one of them.
There's never an excuse for that shit.
Yeah, I feel you.
Well, you know what? Fuck.
I know you got you got nasty.
The line is fuck. But
so
I remember hearing that. I'm like,
and
like you kind of just forget about it. I didn't say,
because
oh shit, I gotta overanalyze what he said about the girl looking that good.
Said it was Biggie.
Like I get it, what he said. I don't agree how he said it.
But you agree that damn, she's so nice.
But if she looked that good, you gonna suck his dick.
Yeah, same thing. Yo,
I need to see how this girl looks because she gotta look fucking amazing.
She ain't better.
You know what? Sometimes don't have to be a girl though. Cannabis said he eat a ass like me.
Listen, this girl better look like
Cannabis.
fucking Shorty and
One of the best
Jackson
diss songs of all
West,
time.
like-
Has one of the most pause with.
Did he mean
Mike
that-
said,
Did he mean in a little?
"You might have more cash than me, but you ain't got the skill
Still
to."
eating niggas' ass.
Yeah, but this is the thing, right?
Come on.
What do you mean? Did he mean
Pause.
it
No,
figuratively?
there's
or-
literal and figurative meanings. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Oh, it was very figurative. So
when
how
you-
did it come
but-
off?
But when
though?
you say,
Doesn't matter,
hold
like,
on,
you
let me
chew
explain.
in a
Let me
bag.
explain.
Wait, wait,
No pun intended.
Let me explain. It's a stupid explanation, but I'm going to explain it. When someone says, I'm going to get up in your ass, doesn't mean they're getting up in your
That
ass.
doesn't always mean to get
No,
up in your ass.
but eating
Nah,
your
yeah,
ass is a
but that's
little
what I'm saying.
different.
He meant
It's
it
a
in a battle
derivative
state,
of
you know what
that
I'm saying?
shit.
Not gonna eat
I
your
know
ass,
what he
I'm gonna
meant.
eat you up, like destroy you. Kind of thing.
That's
Well,
what I
that could
mean.
be
One of my
misinterpreted
first
too.
bars was like, "Get up in that ass like colon cancer." I understand what
That's
you're
getting, that's
saying.
getting all up in the ass.
That's
That
really
way.
good.
I understand.
Get in there.
I love when
colon
people
cancer
twist the
only
phrase
goes-
of
Let's get
speech
right to the fucking.
and make it literal as a
Yeah.
punchline.
Yeah.
I love that.
You gotta
But
cut.
But eating an N-I-G-G-A ass like you and comparing it like you can't eat it like I can. Like that's nasty.
that, man.
I know, but it's nasty.
Fuck, man.
He'll take you to the candy
That's why hip
shop.
hop's in a lot of trouble if
Take
people
me
sit
to
back
the
and analyze
candy
everything
shop.
people said back in the day.
Yeah.
Because millennials will just get a
You know what? MC Search, and this is no disrespect, but he said in an interview, there's been
Never
groundbreaking lines that change hip hop. And the one he said, I laughed because I'm like,
Yeah.
to me, that's one of the worst lines of all time
Yeah.
and one of the most groundbreaking hip hop songs.
When I was 12, I went to hell.
No, that's fire.
just threw that out.
But you thought I was a donut. You tried to glaze me. He's like, yo, when Rakim said that, like I threw all my rhyme books out and shit. I'm like, yo, that's like one of the wackest bars ever spit in hip
In
hop.
retrospect, it is, but at the time, no.
You thought I was a donut.
and you tried to glaze me.
Yeah, you thought
No,
I was
but the
soft.
thing is,
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's a dope line,
You
but
thought I was fucking
in the
soft.
time, but in the time that it was said.
Bruh.
That's all it said, in the time. You're
Just
past
also,
that.
There's a lot of things
also,
that are-
hold on.
That's almost as bad as
No, no,
Lil
no, no.
Flip.
Hold
Since
on.
you like milk, I do nothing but
Not
spoil
even that.
you.
When you glazing at something,
Yeah.
what are you
Yeah,
doing?
but you know what?
Yeah.
That
When you
one's
glazing
better,
at
though.
something, you just
That
glancing
one's
over. You
better,
just
though.
like, oh,
Yeah.
I glazed at it for a hot
I'm not
second.
defending the
I didn't look
line.
at it. I didn't study it. I didn't take it serious. I just glazed
Oh,
at it.
why you gotta get so deep on
But
something
that's
that's not
That's how
that
it
deep?
is.
But
You thought I was
He's a
soft,
deep
so you only
person.
gave me a second of your time. You didn't even give me
Nah.
fucking like time to analyze me. If you thought I was hard, you would have fucking studied me. That's what he's saying in that line. You thought I
Is
was
that
soft,
what he's
so you
saying?
gave me a second.
You thought I was
soft,
lazy.
so you glazed me. You thought I was soft, so you only looked at me for half a millisecond and said fuck and dismissed me. But now that you know that I'm hard,
So
you
you're
wanna know
saying-
all about
What
me.
I
You're
love
saying
is that
Rakim
we can
wrote
look at
the original Vapors
lyrics
then?
and we can pick them apart. in
Rakim,
different
or,
ways.
King
You know
did.
what I'm saying?
No, now you're saying Rakim did.
I love
How's
that.
that?
Because the donut, like you tried to glaze me, this deep metaphorical message you gave
that's
it is
what
the
it
whole
is.
breakdown of the song.
That's exactly what it is, though.
Yeah, yes.
You thought I was soft and tried to glaze me. You thought I was soft and tried to
But
give me a second of your time, if best. Nigga, I'm hard. Study
It's
me.
just like, you thought I was soft, you tried to throw peanuts on
But
top
the
of me
thing
with the
that's-
peanut butter icing.
But the Vapors wasn't about being soft or not. It was just not looking at people's potential before they bust, before they become something.
Yeah, dismissing them
Thought I
before
was
they.
a donut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tried
you
to
thought I
glaze
was.
me.
You know,
Like I said,
you thought
at
I
the
was
time,
sweet.
you remember,
Sure
you gotta
did.
look at the time.
Well,
Not
yeah,
as-
you could see.
Remember,
that's
you're
like,
looking at
you
from
thought you could
20
glaze
No,
years.
like,
no, I'm not.
I'm so
I look at
nice.
all hip hop.
No, you're not. No.
Thank you very much.
I'm not saying it's a.
That's why Strictly Business by
I'm not-
EPMD is one of my favorite hip hop albums. Because if I looked at everything as current, it'd be far on the list.
Listen. What I'm saying is this. Remember, this is MC Search. Hearing it at that time. Not you hearing it.
I'm just saying.
Hold on, not you hearing
If
it.
glazing a donut made you throw your rhyme book
Well, that's
out,
what I'm saying.
only
That's what I'm saying. But it's not you hearing it how many decades later and analyzing it based on everything you've heard. Prior to hearing that, what did MC Search hear before that?
Right. Fair
I hope he
enough.
heard literally nothing but DJing.
Because there was nothing really literally before that. That's what I said. Like, prior to Rakim.
Shan the Bridge is better than that bar.
So-
Prior to Rakim.
Didn't understand.
Most of the
simple you
hip-hop
can make
was
it,
just
but how direct
easy
you can
party
make
music.
it.
The
That's all
thing
it
is,
was.
it's cool. You don't have to be complex in the early
Obviously
stage
not.
of hip hop. I'm not sitting here shitting
You don't
on
have to- no,
fucking
I'm not saying
Eric
you
Silver
are.
for going.
No,
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, you're comparing
Yeah.
something that you heard 20 years later, or 10, 15 years later, when you started listening to hip hop, to MC Search hearing something.
And only making music
Yeah.
for like 10 years.
Yeah.
At best, and It's
So
still
it's
pretty
like
basic.
for him to say that in that based on the time frame.
DMC wasn't more technical than glazing a donut.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry.
You can take one line from anybody and say,
I'm
"Yo, that
sorry.
was whack." From any rapper, that's good.
I get the devil's
Yeah,
advocate
it's
role, but
It's
you
not
know it's a
devil's
whack
advocate.
line.
It's not okay. I
So-
don't
But
say
it
it
wasn't
is.
whacking, motherfucker.
Yeah,
listen,
all I'm saying is
It was
Yeah.
whack.
no, not at
Just
that.
back
MC
then,
Search
bro.
didn't think
No,
so.
not at that
Not
time.
87.
I never heard another rapper say that was an inspirational line.
Who cares? That was for him.
Prince.
For everybody, it's gonna be different.
Fuck
Somebody,
that. Let's move on to what Coco.
Basic point is MC
Coco, what you
Search's
saying?
standard of lyrics.
It's like
is
this.
like
Put it like
Coco
this. Put it like this. Put it like this. Put it like this. Right?
Okay, you want me to ask you?
A lot of
Ask your
hold on.
question, shorty.
Hold on, real quick.
All right, let Mike finish and ask you a question.
yeah, yeah.
Put it like this. For a lot of people, okay, M's a lyricist. Fine. For a lot of people, they can put him in the same category based on the dumb shit he said in songs and compare his lyricism to all the dumb shit or lazy shit he said in songs and be like, oh, see, he's not that good because he doesn't say things in songs and blah, blah. Even though he's a top tier lyricist.
Yeah.
So it's the same shit.
Things
People
can be
pick and
picked
choose what they
apart,
want to
yeah.
fucking be like, okay, yeah, which
Yeah.
is fine. There's no problem with that. But we can do that for everybody. Everyone from Nas to Jay to M to Drake to fucking list goes on.
But see, the thing is, I never said Rakim wasn't top tier.
No, I didn't say that. What I'm
I
saying
say
is
he's the best
I didn't
rapper
say
of
that.
all
All I'm
time.
saying is,
But
Saying anything.
yeah,
can be
it doesn't
apart,
matter who it
basically.
is.
Yeah.
Is that line stuck to search,
Everyone,
man? You
everyone,
can't
yeah.
even like that was just a line that stuck out to man. Some lines stick out to some people more than others. You
Yeah,
can't.
and
you
that's
can't
fine.
cite the man
We don't
for
even know
that
how
shit.
old he was when he heard that.
all right. So
How old was he when he heard that?
wait, just I have one question.
Probably pretty young.
Yeah.
You start rocking with a kid. He's like,
Actually,
yo,
the same age.
yo, hold on. You start rocking with a kid. You're like, yo, all right, kid's kind of dope, you know. You're working on a song. And you're getting to know him. You're like, yo, what's your favorite hip hop line of all time? And he'd be like,
I'm a kid like Cuddy.
you know my kidnap kids, fuck them in the ass, throw them over the bridge.
That wouldn't bother me.
Yo, who's that?
Biggie.
That wouldn't bother me.
Biggie said the most
Yeah.
positive shit of all
Word,
time.
okay.
That wouldn't bother me personally.
Nah?
There's
You'd be like,
somebody
that's
else
Because
sick.
again,
similar.
I know everybody's differently.
All right, what if
So
it,
if that's your favorite line, that's fine.
what if it's just check out
At
my
the time,
beaver?
Biggie was kind of on that whole 666. Like at that time, you gotta understand.
Check out my beaver.
No. Hold up, man. You gotta understand. At the time, you had the Gravediggers, you had Esham, you had Biggie, you had
Yo,
a bunch of
Gravediggers
dudes who were
is
saying
sick.
no, but guys were saying some like psycho, like even Nas was
No,
saying some.
Big
psycho
L
shit,
started
so-
it. Nas
No, he
kind of
didn't.
started
No,
it.
he didn't.
Nas kind of started it.
Big L
with
and
the
Nas
two
come
lines.
out kind of like after Gravediggers, bro.
No, they didn't.
Wow.
Nas kind of
Bugging.
predates, but I mean, as far as like
No,
dropping
no.
full albums and shit.
No,
and
Devil's Son has the two most. What's the word I'm looking
But
for?
that Devil's Son came out
Um,
even after. Was it?
What's the word I'm looking for?
Children of the Corn, no?
But the point is,
What the
at that
fuck is the word
time-
that starts with a
At
C?
that time, you know what I'm saying? Like they call it horrorcore rap, but at that time, it was just supposed to say the
Yeah,
most
that's true,
outlandish
girl.
shit possible.
No,
at the time,
Nas's
so-
two most
Marvin.
fucking controversial. There we go,
Controversial.
asshole. But controversial. Nas's two most controversial lines were sampled on one of Big L's first records, and that whole song was a lot more gutter than anything Nas ever spit. Devil's
point
Son
is,
by
though-
Big
Yeah,
L.
Devil's Son's
When I was 12, I went to hell for snuffing Jesus. I'm waving automatic guns and nuts.
My
They
point
sampled
is,
both them shits.
at the time when Nas first came out, like that.
Nas is the original horrorcore rapper.
He talked to Sham about that shit.
I don't know if Nas was listening to Esham.
But guys in general were kind of like alluding, you know what I'm saying? Like it was
Mm.
going that way. I don't know if Nas is the original horrorcore
9-0?
rapper.
8990?
I don't know, man, because Ice Cube was even saying some shit that was kind of wild.
No, not even that wild.
What's your example?
Fuck.
Nas is the first horrorcore rapper.
Man, I don't know,
And
man.
then Big L picked up the fucking torch when Nas went mainstream.
I don't know.
And then the white boys picked up the horrorcore. But it started with fucking them two, yo.
You need to go back and listen to some Esham.
Yeah, I know Esham and shit, but was Esham around before Nas did the barbecue?
I don't know.
And on that kind of
That was
level.
just one line, though, really. It wasn't like
But
his
it
whole...
started it.
But it wasn't his whole thing.
Yeah, but
You
it's
can
like
say
Big
NWA
L.
started.
Horrorcore wasn't Big L's whole thing, but it was a large percentage
Big
of it.
Lurch. We'll talk to fucking Big Lurch and those West Coast motherfuckers.
One of his first big tracks
PCP
samples those
and
two
eating niggas'
lines.
stomachs and shit. Go
So-
talk to them dudes, man.
Pun
Dope line.
became horrorcore. Cool G Rap became horrorcore.
Before Nas.
Nas kind of kicked
Remember,
it off.
Kool Rap came first.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but Nas kicked off the horrorcore.
When did
If Nas never kicked Live at the Barbecue or Back to the Grill, I I say Tyler the Creator doesn't exist today.
Tyler the Creator doesn't fucking matter. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. He doesn't fucking matter. I mean, he does this.
That's
thing.
like saying Logic doesn't matter. These cats matter.
He doesn't
It kind
matter.
of does in the grand scheme of things.
No, but they do in a larger scheme
No,
of things.
in this
still.
generation, yes, but in
Listen,
overall,
man, it's
no.
not like, I mean, if they passed away, God,
It's like
you know
saying
what I'm
Madonna
God
didn't
willing,
matter
they
in
do
the
not rest
80s.
Who's that?
But it's not like it would
Madonna,
have an effect
We
on
compare
hip-hop
it to
the point
Madonna,
where you'd be
bro.
like, holy shit.
Yeah, but in the 80s, when she came out.
Bro, you're comparing him to Madonna.
But it's a different thing.
But I'm talking about Madonna in the
Madonna.
80s compared to Logic in 2000. Come on, bro.
Logic's dope, but
He's not putting on lingerie and fucking breaking barriers.
God, I hope not.
Yo,
Nah,
do you know
he's
what?
not
The
doing
first
that.
gay rapper is going to sell mad records.
I'm pretty sure there's been plenty of
No, but I mean real, like not just come out with the word,
Are you
but like actually.
Queen Latifah?
What'd you say?
Are you
We just
She never made music
Yeah.
videos just
We
macking
didn't know.
women.
We didn't know.
The first dude who
Came
comes
out
out
Yeah.
as a legit gay rapper, whether it be male or female, and is all about it, like making songs like either like, yo, I eat pussy so good that the, like, you know what I mean, or whatever, vice versa.
This shit's
And
great,
it's
man.
visual and shit. They're gonna-
That
Yeah,
If
It'll
a
pop.
rapper does come out as
Exactly.
gay, though, does he have to
Yeah.
make that his whole fucking gimmick, though? Can he just not be a rapper and be like, yeah, I'm fucking gay, it's not my gimmick? Like, does that have to be a whole fucking...
doesn't have to be a gimmick. What
You
I'm
know what I'm
saying is
saying?
the
Like-
first dude who makes it the gimmick is gonna pop.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think them making that gimmick
whether
is
he
gonna,
does or not,
is
he's
gonna
gonna
hold
go
them
through a
back.
lot
No,
of fucking
I don't.
shit. That's for damn
I think
sure.
they're gonna get a huge supporting and following you never really seen in
Nah.
hip hop prior to it.
It's possible.
Listen, I think like...
Anything's possible.
Because
I think-
hip hop is very misogynistic
I
and
think for
very
like
anti things.
a male gay rapper to be the first
And
male
when
gay
people
rapper to
do
really
something
succeed,
to
they
cross
gotta
the
be able to
border, like
kinda do it
Macklemore,
Omar
they
from
get
The Wire.
clowned.
It's gotta be some shit where it's like, oh damn, like he gay, but he'll fucking kill you. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Just because it's so
well, because
masculine.
It's seen, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like they don't have to make it their whole fucking gimmick. Every song's
the
about
picture's painted,
what they
right?
do, but if they're like, oh, that's my side life or that's
No,
my
but
personal life.
here's
then
another
you're
question
like,
I have
okay,
for you
fuck,
now,
whatever, I
right?
still respect
Because the
you.
biggest thing that a lot of people have problem with is like, you know, when people listen to Frank Ocean and now they listen to certain
Yeah, like
songs.
people don't even care if Frank Ocean's gay. You
No,
know,
I know,
because
but
he never
other
did that his
people
shit.
do
Yeah.
because when they listen to the songs now they're like,
Yeah, reference to what
I
he
forgot.
was.
it means different things. It's the way that people went back to R. Kelly and
I
they're
was
like,
gonna say
I don't
that,
like this
right?
anymore.
Michael, fucking
Because
Michael.
now I know what it means.
Like,
So
yeah.
did I until you
But
just
this
said
is
it.
the
I don't
point
know.
I'm trying to
I don't give a
make.
shit.
Also go back and listen to Novocaine and not care because like
Yeah,
it don't
yeah,
happen.
I don't
You know
care.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
And what I'm saying
I
is,
feel like people have more of an issue
that
with
nostalgia,
things because
ultra.
I-
it's
that was
made
fucking
and
crazy.
it's made into such an issue where people have to.
do you know what's crazy though?
Like I don't
A
care.
gay
about that
rapper
shit.
could come out and spit mad tracks just about sucking dick and shit and could be so fire that not even the hardest hip hop heads could even hate on it. Like,
Man, if
yo, I sucked the golf ball through
That's right.
through the hose.
Yeah, that's the only
gimmick.
song.
No, I'm telling you. But if you get hit it, think about the misogyny.
Nah.
Wait, hold on. Think about the misogyny that men
that-
live
is
on.
that because
Ask
misogyny-
Beavis, I get nothing but head. That line's not that dope. But when you add the misogyny value to it, to what led up to it, it makes it dope.
Like
and
Beavis,
that's the
like
thing
your
with a lot
man.
of hip hop. And if you could tap into that market of the gay community, you could almost be
So,
sicker.
Maloney, will
Well,
you
no,
do it?
I can't totally listen. I can't
Do it.
totally disagree there because I mean that is another market, right?
It's another
So,
market.
like this.
But-
You had a gay rapper
hold on,
spitting
hold on,
bars
hold on.
and not having to
Hold on,
act
hold
like
on,
he
hold
was
on,
straight,
hold on, hold
but
on,
be
hold
like,
on,
yo,
Anything like that.
I sucked the dick.
Hold on.
You blow, I'm telling you. No pun intended.
Okay. Hold on. So, question.
Okay.
Being straight, knowing this, would you pretend to be that rapper?
I've considered making an alter ego because when I'm really drunk and really high, I've spit for 30 minutes more gay bars in Church Street.
And your job
Be
is
like,
killing you.
yo, I sucked a dick.
Comes
Saying though, you spit it like it's like a smack battle. Like, almost gangsta hard shit, but the only hard thing about it is gay bars.
So,
the only
And
hard
it's the
thing about
funniest
it is
shit
the
in the
hard
world.
So
dick
this
in
goes-
the lyrics.
so
Yo,
this
I'm
goes
telling
back.
you.
This goes.
Yo!
About it.
So this goes back
Yo!
to what Mindbender was talking about. Eminem drop those clues.
You see me put the arm up
bro.
on the Glock. I spray shots at you, cause I'm hard up in my cock.
That sounds so weird.
You know what? Now, how awkward is someone spitting a whole fucking KOTD battle verse to you in gay bars and they're fire?
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. If somebody's there spitting about
I want you to do
only
that.
about
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, there's a market. I'm
so
telling
do
you,
it.
there's a market.
But I'm saying, if you're just sitting
I'll
up
be-
there that same shit, it's
Little wind sacks? Sorry, can you say that?
Whoa,
Unless
you're
you're
letting
really,
the
really
camera
good at
green.
Can you say that? You got figure. Little who? Little what? I'm sorry, Coco. Like, this tends to happen. Maloney goes a little crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Everything
like,
we talk about is crazy.
He's wild.
But
he's our resident wild boy. You know what I
know.
MGK?
But
I don't want to have to be MGK.
No, you're our resident MGK.
So let's talk about something actual.
Alright.
So what do you think artists lack the most of in this industry?
In Toronto?
In Toronto, yeah. We're talking about Toronto because
Why you gotta set me up like that?
Problem.
Gay bars.
Can I say it?
Gay bars.
Straight
Can
up.
I answer? Prestige. And what I mean by the prestige is there's a few people who really know how to pull it off. Dre Bars is somebody who knows how to pull it off. He knows how to like, this is my character. This is I'm not saying this. He's not who he is, but this is what I'm gonna show you and fully play it through. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't. And like even myself, I'm guilty of it sometimes. When I was doing shows a few years ago, I'd come up and I had an intro track and I'd have the whole crew behind me and whatnot. And that was like the presentation of it.
Yeah.
But people are forgetting that this is an art form.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And as an art form, you got to think this shit through before you even get on stage. And sometimes this show can't be the same as the show last time. Sometimes you got to invest in getting a fucking screen behind you and having, like something playing in the background. Like, start doing the art thing. You know what I'm saying? Think about at the end of the day, this is creativity. Start thinking like, this is a presentation. This is an infomercial. This time that I got on stage is my motherfucking infomercial. It might have cost me $500, but let me flip that into $5,000, $50,000, whatever. Because that's your fucking time. You paid for that advertisement slot. We're forgetting that. We're forgetting it's a business. We're forgetting it's a hustle. We're forgetting how to hustle doing this shit. And we're just getting lazy and complacent. And we got to start thinking outside of the box. And we got to start thinking about making motherfucking money. Because until we start making money, nobody's looking at us. And that's why everybody's looking at Drake. Because that dude makes money. And if you ain't making money, nobody gives a fuck about
how much was that code that rap?
Oh, it was $796,000.
First of all, why are you making a jacket that much?
Money fucking matters.
And why are you accepting that when you can do your own shit? You just bought a jumbo jet.
Yeah,
Fuck out with this jacket. I can make $1 million in these jackets.
He actually didn't buy a jumbo jet. He purchased shares into
whatever,
the
man.
of a jumbo jet.
He's purchased a lot of shit more than that fucking jacket. He makes OVO jackets.
Jay-Z could have bought a fucking property down in Dumbo. Now that shit's only worth.
I know, but I'm just saying. But he makes a point about money.
Oh, we need money.
He's a money generator.
We need money. We need young individuals who are hungry about it and don't want to be rappers. Like, I want to be the guy behind the scenes. Because if we don't have people who are saying, okay, look, I'm willing to sacrifice my personal life. I'm willing to sacrifice dating all these hot chicks, and I'm willing to sacrifice going to the bars to be that guy that's getting you the paperwork done, to getting you the shows,
that's the thing,
to going out there and making things possible. We don't have people on the team like that right now. Everybody wants to be the cook. Nobody wants to be the motherfucker going out and preparing this shit.
They don't understand what really goes into everything that artists do.
Absolutely.
Right? Or behind the scenes.
We need managers.
Without people behind the scenes, you don't have no show.
Exactly.
You don't have your sound. You don't have your DJ playing. You don't have
managers and promoters
you don't have any of that. The promoters in this city are a little ridiculous in a way. Okay?
It's just smoking. All right, hold on. Let's get to it.
Yeah, this is the smoke. The smoke. We're gonna
do that right at the fucking 90th minute too, right?
So,
like I gotta break the fuck out soon too.
But it's true because the promoters now they're like, oh, you want to make money? Why don't you sell tickets? Or like you have to sell tickets for a slot. This just happened in January actually, where there was a show. I'm not gonna say any names, but there was a show that
you can say the names.
No, fuck that shit. They don't know that. So
we're happy here.
It's a happy place. But it's like they led me to believe that, oh, you want to make like money from shows. Like, who the fuck doesn't? Duh. That's the kind of where I'm going.
Yeah, give me my money and I'll break out.
And then I find out that for a spot, like you gotta sell tickets. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Hold on, back up. Say that again. Like I have to sell the tickets to perform? And this is 2019? I'm like, nah, I'm not. No, I have chosen to sell tickets. There was another show that I did do, Soul Slam, in in January, and I did sell tickets, but I chose to do that because I made like over 100 that night.
Well, what you say is very important.
That was my own choice.
What you say is very important too, because I see this a lot, and I think that's the problem. Is you get two sides of the spectrum. You either get artists who are like, I'm too good to sell tickets, and they never perform on good bills.
Right.
And then you get the other side of the artist who will pay to get on any bill, whether it appeals to their audience or not.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, you need a medium.
You
Because
need a
exposure,
medium.
you still
have
need
to,
exposure.
If you're going to invest that money, because you can guarantee when they do the shows that is not their main crowd audience, they're paying out of pocket.
Yeah.
But you got to make sure that paying out of pocket is worth your fucking money.
Exactly.
That's the thing. And a lot of people...
You got to invest smart in smart ways, not stupid ways. So, I mean, like, there's some things that are worth paying for or registering a small fee to get into a certain event, because that's also a totally different...
different market
or a totally different level, totally different audience.
And especially when it's something that complements your style or
of
what
course.
you're doing,
so like
right?
Soul Slam was perfect for me because it's more
Exactly.
soul R&B, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, and that was a whole other market of people and a whole other audience I had never been in front of before.
Yeah.
So I mean, eventually you have to ask yourself, like, is there a point to be on certain shows in Toronto? I'm just using Toronto as an example. Or is there a point in being on certain shows? Because eventually it's the same people that come to those shows. You're not making new, like, obviously there's a few new people here and there, but you're not, unless you're going to support somebody.
Yeah.
Because I love those too. It's like going to a reunion, no?
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, what's the point of going to that show?
But do you notice
at
this?
Another show.
Do you notice this as well? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
But one thing that astonishes me too is that a lot of these shows, it is exactly what you're just saying. But it's like, people, when they do these shows, 50% of them are standoffish.
Yeah.
It's like, they're not out there networking shit.
Yeah,
they come in
that's
like,
the problem.
yo, I'm the
They're not
shit.
willing to put in
You know what I mean?
effort.
It's
Some
like,
people are really like, they get anxiety.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
that's
my
the
boy
biggest
Jimmy,
thing. It's
my
an
boy
anxiety
Jimmy, my
thing.
producer,
You have to act
doesn't
too
know
cool
how to
because
talk
you feel
to people,
nervous.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I
It's
get
like,
it.
You're
I try
right,
to tell them,
it
like, yo,
forces
bro,
you,
just go talk to these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
people ask me, who the fuck makes my beats? Go talk to these motherfuckers
Yeah.
and sell you services. But
Yeah.
That's
he's nervous,
awkward.
he's shy, and it's like, fuck.
I
So
think
some
the
people
more-
are awkward, and it's like, yo,
Yeah.
where is people?
I think the
I
more
was like that
time
when I
you
moved
do
here.
things, though, the more time you do things, that helps you, right? Like, so
Yeah.
certain things, like, even for me to get into music to begin with, I had to throw myself. Like,
Yeah.
stage fright, a lot of people don't know this, but stage fright used to win all the fucking time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I used to write from when I was so young and sing from when I was so young, but I was too afraid, you know? And then I'm like, fuck, man, like, you know you're so good. Like, you feel it. You're so passionate about it. The shit you write is real. Like, every song I've ever written is real.
Yeah.
So it's like, why don't you just
do it.
Yeah.
So I just threw myself into a talent show in my grade 12 year.
Yeah.
Because I said, this is the 4th year. Like, you got to do
Now
this.
it's
Before
fun.
you go,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
go. And I did it. And it was nerve-wracking. But after I did it, I'm like, bro, this is the shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Right here, it was over 1,000 people, easy. I'm like, that's
Make
what
some
you gotta
fucking
do.
noise for that.
Thanks, man.
Like, yo, big up to fucking school events.
Yeah,
one
big
of-
up to that.
There's
Even
a
though there's
vet-
programs getting cut, excuse me.
Yeah,
but
because
yeah.
I remember seeing Cardinal. The first time I seen him perform was at school when he used to go by the name Kool Aid.
MC
Is
Kool-Aid.
D.O. king of
Yeah.
the schools?
Sean Booth could be too.
Ricochet.
But I'm talking
More
about
than D.O.?
Yeah,
Shout out
could be
Ricochet.
or Rochester. But what I'm talking about is when you're actually in high school,
Yeah.
nobody really knows what you're doing,
Exactly.
and you're performing,
Yep.
right?
And people go
Just doing
nuts
your
for
thing.
that.
Yeah.
People go crazy for that.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, like we were saying before, a lot of people they're not just. It's not just about being afraid, but that's very factual. What you guys are saying. But then, like the other thing that we were saying is that a lot of people don't want to put in the work. They're like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to do this. No, fuck that shit. I'm not. I don't need exposure. Like, buddy,
Do you know what they are?
you don't just need exposure. You know what I'm
People
saying?
come
Like,
from
you gotta
every
humble
walk
yourself.
of life.
Everyone needs to
They
humble
come from every
themselves.
walk of life, but these people are spoiled people.
Yeah,
It doesn't
entitled.
matter whether it's been spoiled
Yeah.
in certain periods of life where they feel a certain expectation or whatever, but there is a heavy amount of people that I've met that feel like everything is deserved to them.
Yeah.
Should be handed to them. And
And
that
they're
doesn't
not
just root.
coachable in
That
any
doesn't
way.
just root from you being a good rapper.
No,
and then be like, everything's so
no,
good.
no, no, no.
You know what I
That
mean?
comes
Like,
deeper.
no,
That
that comes
comes from a
deeper than
deeper
that. It comes from a
place.
deeper spot. And there's a
Yeah.
lot of spoiled people in rap music. And unfortunately, a lot of the biggest people, and we're not
In
going to
music,
call out
period.
names right now,
In
but
music,
the biggest
period.
local people got sponsorships from their parents their whole fucking hard times through their career.
I'm really
And that's
sorry
all we're gonna
about
say.
that, man.
Facts.
Nah,
Facts.
it's
Okay.
okay.
Right when you said
No,
that,
I'm
right when you
not
said
mad at
that,
that.
Stone is like,
It's a fact, but we're not calling
I'm not mad
nobody
at
out
that.
right now.
I'm not mad at that. You
Like,
know
he
why?
knows.
Because you know what? If your parents can support what you're doing,
Fuck yeah.
that's a bonus.
That's dope.
My thing is, I'm gonna say this
Honestly,
right
it's a
now.
bonus.
If you're
That's
see,
cool.
I see where you're coming
play
from,
this
and I
on
see
my
where you're
team,
coming
yeah.
from. And my thing
Shit.
is, if you're living at home, right, and your parents are helping you, you know, do something that you're really passionate
Pursue your
about,
dream.
and you like literally, and they know, like, bro, like he can really do it, you know. I don't really
She
hate
got
on that,
skills.
but what I will say, and it's not even about hate, it's just what I don't really rate is when you have that. And you're just like, you're not fucking helping out at home.
Oh.
You're not doing
Yeah.
shit with your life.
Yeah,
It's just
that's a
like,
full
that's
on.
what I'm
That's no
doing.
good.
You know, I don't have, like, any kind of job.
When you
or,
supply that route for somebody, that's what you get in return.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's
That comes
enabling.
from somewhere. And when you enable it, they're
Yeah.
going to keep doing it. Then they go out in the real world and they're like, what do you mean I can't do that?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do I mean? Like, you can't do that shit. So then the real world eats them, chews them up, spits them back out. For somebody else to deal with
But
them, and then
sometimes
it's
it
over and
doesn't,
over and
because
over again until
sometimes-
somebody like really lets them know.
Do you know what the powerful thing about it is?
Okay.
Sometimes, if you believe in the power of thought, the power of mind, if you go through life believing everything that you want will bend to be your way eventually, if you believe in the power of thought, the power of mind, that actually gives rich, spoiled kids the higher advantage in any industry.
Yeah, but that's natural. That's normal. I mean, that's normal. It's not natural, but it's normal.
That's all I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? If your
That
uncle,
will-
your aunt, your whatever puts you on something because they can, that's what's just
that
gonna
will
happen.
that will work. I
Yeah.
feel like it will work. It will work for a really long time.
Yeah.
But eventually, somebody's gonna step in and say like, "You're not good enough for
Yeah.
that," and they're gonna be pissed off. But nonetheless, that person can say, "I don't care who you know. You've been helped along the way."
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, no matter how much money you have
Yeah.
or whomever you know, you're not good enough. That eventually,
But you know what, though?
with some people, happens.
In this era right now, if you do have
Oh,
the
yeah.
money and you're not good enough, that's good enough. That's
Been
about
good enough for a while.
Yeah.
Nothing's
actually.
good enough in
Because
this
there's
era.
a lot of people
No,
out there
yeah.
doing stuff and it's because they have money and it's like they shouldn't be doing
Yeah.
stuff.
Would you rather do the most or do the least?
It depends
That's
what
a
the
vague
most is and
question.
what's
That's
the
a vague
least.
question.
What's
what
the
do you
least?
mean?
If I'm doing the
Elaborate.
least and making the most, then fine.
Well,
But if I'm doing the most and making the least, hell
yeah, I
no.
be doing the
No.
most.
If I do the most and make the least, when
But-
you do the least and make the most.
Well, you know, doing the most is like.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
but
that's
what I'm
true.
saying. But if you're making the least, doing the most, no point.
But what if you're making the most doing the most, and making the least doing the least?
Then there's no point of doing shit. I mean, like, if you're doing the least, making the least.
So there's no point in doing anything.
No, what I'm saying is, if you're doing the least, making the least, then you're already
You gotta do
canceled
the
out.
most.
And if you're doing the most, making the most, then fine,
What
continue.
what if the most involves
I hear
What
you.
is
sticking
I
a
hear
gun
you.
up to Bun B's wife?
Well, as long as
Sorry,
he doesn't
you know,
shoot
for
me,
like half a
fine.
second,
As long as
and
he get the
that's
fuck
what
out of
turned
there
out
before he shoots me, like
He was doing the most.
Yeah.
Word. All right, man. I got. Unfortunately,
He didn't profit from that though.
unfortunately,
He
got-
profited?
We gotta
Dude
go.
broke in his crib. He
Yeah.
got shot, right?
Yeah, he
no,
got-
He,
he got
no, he didn't get
splattered.
shot.
He shot at
No,
him.
he got shot in the shoulder.
Oh,
Yeah.
word.
He was like
Shout out to
critical
Bun
care
B
for a minute.
For fucking
Yo,
that
shout out to
dude
Bun
up,
B
man.
for being a real dude.
That's what's up. But yo, unfortunately, like I said, I gotta
Dustin and
roll up
Wareham
early.
gotta wake up at
Yeah,
4
I gotta get
a.m.
before
For
4:30
work?
a.m. Shout out to my homegirl Nikki Chu. You got me working my
Nah,
ass off
stop
on
giving
this
shout outs to
TV
people
show.
who make you cut on your pod game.
Hey man, I'm getting paid
Yo,
on this show, and
Yeah,
it's-
your
it's-
pod game to get whack lately.
Listen, I'm getting paid.
We're
by
gonna have to
Magic
hire
Johnson
some
right now.
Savon in here.
I'm getting paid by motherfucking Magic Johnson.
Yo,
right
where's
now.
Savon?
Aspire Network right now. So that's his
Yeah.
network down in the
Yo,
States.
Mike,
Nice.
where's
I'm working
Savon?
for them. I'm actually on
Where's
camera in the
Savon?
show, so
Oh,
and
Savon.
Who's that?
shout out
before I
to
say that-
Dustin.
Coco, what's poppin', baby?
Why am
What
I
you
the only one
got?
clapping?
Maul.
That camera's frozen.
Okay,
Rory.
what's
So
up?
look into
Yep.
to that
Parks.
camera right there. Let us know what
Parks.
you got popping, where we can hear your music,
Okay.
when's your next show,
right.
all that good stuff right there. This camera right here beside you.
All right, what's up, guys? So the next show, we're doing a fucking cool
And,
show.
all right.
The next show is June 29th in St. Thomas for Animal Rescue
Hey,
events. Okay. Hey, okay.
Yeah.
So I thought the camera was fucking.
Yeah.
So yeah, next show is the 29th of June, and then we're right now in the works of planning different community projects. So look out for those. I got another single releasing soon this summer off my upcoming EP that will be releasing in the fall. So, and then I have a few videos that'll be filmed this summer. So look out for those too.
And where can we hear
So
your
she's
music
just
right now?
blasting
Oh, yeah.
you guys, killing you guys right now. And can't y'all see that he's fake? The rap version of TD Jakes, prophesizing on the CDs and tapes. Coco Leah's really out here for the community, and she takes nothing back from something because that's what it takes.
All right, Maloney. And where you can find my music, I have a website, cocoleah.ca, so COCOLEAH.ca. All my links are there, but you can reach me also on Facebook, Twitter, IG, SoundCloud, YouTube, all that.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
What they gotta search though? Like, you just tell them that. Like,
just
they gotta
go
search your name.
cocoleah.ca, and you'll find all the links. Spotify and everything's on there too. Everything. Or
That's
just go
what's
Google,
up.
man.
You shouldn't let me control cameras.
Shout out my
Earthquake
girl,
in
Coco
here,
Leah.
man. Thanks for having me, guys. Shout out to you guys.
No, thank you for coming through.
We gotta have you back because I felt like we didn't really get into the shits till like the end of the shits.
You know what? Next time I'll come at the
here.
beginning, smoke the spliff with you.
Yes.
Hey, there
Yes.
And then we'll.
Yes.
No, do you know
No,
what,
man,
though?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
This
it.
show's all about the nonsense, We want to do some serious
It's about
shit.
talking to Toronto, about Toronto.
Breaking
and
Records
everything.
Radio,
So,
we'd be glad to get you through. We could talk seriously about the music
Yeah,
and
man.
stuff.
Yep.
But I think sometimes people
I
come
feel like
through
we
here
should handle the
and they'd be
camera
like,
more often. Look at this shit.
I like
This shit's
it.
dope.
yeah.
I like it, man.
Everyone has fun.
And you know what? I have a
Some
lot
people
of
get
opinions that were
confused.
on my IG. I was answering them too, So
That's what's up.
I respect
We got a lot of
that. I appreciate
comments
you
this week.
guys. I
A lot of
really do.
comments, unfortunately.
Shouts
they
to
weren't
Coco!
crazy.
I'm in love with the Coco!
That's gotta be your fucking intro
That's the
song
one.
from now on.
I think I'm gonna do that
You
now.
better do that.
I
You
Got
better
it for the Lord!
You gotta come though, so I can shout you. I'll shout you out regardless. So,
All right, Maloney, grab
Hey.
that camera. Let's do the fucking outros. Grab that camera. Do some crazy shit.
Yo.
Do your fucking tripping out bullshit.
For all
homie.
you people in the spot, yes, I come correct. Whoa! Got you all in check.
Yeah, all right, we out. This fucking guy smashing my fucking iPad.
You thought it was a rock concert.
Like, come on, you smashing my shit, homie. Toronto Talks, we out of here. I need to go home and get some sleep. Fuck
When
all
I
y'all.
was young,
We out. One love.
Yes.
listen closely.
Motherfucker smashing my iPad.
My
Coco, we
only
love you.